And
Bam Bam, Bam Bam,
You son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty.
Let me do this again.
oh, it's live, pal.
Yep, we're live, pal. I know you had this face like it sounded jinky. That's how I had to rehab it before, but that was almost like a second copy because before it flowed into we're live, pal. Simpler than that. That's almost like a second version.
Alright.
But that was the version that I had lined up with the video originally. Anyway, back from inside shit here on the show. Welcome into the latest edition of Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. First time in about 3 weeks. Life happens, I guess, I would say. So we're back here. Not a truncated show. We will be a full show, but truncating what we're gonna talk about. So in between the pay-per-view,
My buck play tonight.
because in between the pay-per-views that happened, we're gonna talk about Payback and All Out, and we're gonna talk about Grand Slam. Grand Slam obviously finished up last night. So on the in-between stuff, we're just gonna kind of keep it short. Talk about what led up to the title matches on Grand Slam that happened on in between the last pay-per-view, which was All Out, and also you're gonna cover WWE stuff, obviously. But if it's super important, like squash matches, toss that shit to the side.
So our
News.
annual game, our annual, how long did our annual game? We ain't got to think of a title for that.
What?
We usually guess how long somebody got to switch the squash match. We got to think of a
Oh, yeah.
name for that. We won't be doing that this week.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that this week. We're gonna skip that this week. Skip that this week and keep the news notes. Our Mount Rob, of course. Hold on. I'm one half of your host, Rob.
You sound like me.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm one half of your host, Rob.
I'm Clint.
And this is Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. We're also gonna do Mount Rushmore, of course.
New way.
Our new Mount Rushmore this week is we decided to focus on certain superstars. Starting off with The Rock.
We're still gonna do our normal ones with
Other superstars too.
superstars and other other stuff with like matches and stuff like we normally do my rush, but we don't incorporate doing it like superstars, good and bad, because for some that has some good, you also have some bad.
Yeah, so this week we're gonna do the good of The Rock. Our personal 4 Mount Rushmore moments of his wrestling career.
Keyword person. No, don't mean you have to agree with it.
Exactly. So that's what we do for Mount Rushmore. Of course, we have news and notes. All those aspects of the show are gonna be normal this week. We're just gonna try to truncate the show portions as outside of the pay-per-views. But the weekly shows we're gonna try to truncate down because we gotta do 3 weeks of stuff inside of about an hour or so because we're only doing a 2-hour show. So
It can be done.
so we're trying to get out of here by 7 so we can both respectively go home and watch the Buckeyes. Either way, let's start off with the news. I can start off if you would like, brother. I know WWE's had a lot of releases and such this week, and I know you got us all covered on that. So let me start off some stuff on the other side.
Yes, we'll say the big thing for last.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest story of the week, so we'll save that for last. So that's all you. Note on when AEW's deal with Warner Brothers Discovery ends. So, and if they had signed a new one, AEW's deal with Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly set to expire December 31st of 2024, New Year's Eve next year. That will confirm the two sides. This will confirm the two sides reached a new agreement earlier this
I
year.
was about to say, don't they mean they got less than 4 months to get a deal together?
No, next.
Oh, 2025.
Yeah, going into New Year's Eve, going into 2025.
Okay. All right.
That would include the new show Collision and gave Warner Brothers Discovery exclusivity to AEW program. It was noted that WWE is in exclusive negotiating windows with NBC, Universal, and Fox, and are hoping to get new TV deals done for NXT and Raw soon. AEW is currently still in an exclusive window with Warner Brothers Discovery. AEW is hoping that if WWE gets the increase in money they are expecting on their next TV deal, that AEW will value Warner Brothers Discovery will value the profit of wrestling on their TV and the value of it, and hopefully increase AEW's deal also.
You're taking notes from your dad.
It's like, well, if they're going to increase their deal, we should increase our deal. And honestly, I like that you said his dad and not taking it from Vince, because if you think about it, his father is an NFL owner. They have to do TV deals all the time, and they do the biggest TV deals in sports by getting $75 billion or something crazy like that.
Or they all have in London every year.
or just to have the NFL ticket on YouTube TV.
By the way,
For example.
That way, I eventually think, like, the Tampa Bay Rays, I hope eventually go back to Montreal. I also think that eventually the Jaguars are he's going to build an NFL team in London.
I mean, he might, but I mean, he's from America. He doesn't have to.
No, I know.
But they have been increasing their output.
They're in London. Jacksonville will always be in London like every year.
But they did have a game coming up in London in a couple weeks against the Falcons, as a matter of fact. They've already started advertising it. It's for October 1st.
Yeah.
And you know, that's my favorite weekend NFL year. Because you get it in 3 tiers. They went NFL, or 4 tiers that day, my bad. Because the typical NFL Sunday is 1 o'clock window, 4 o'clock window, Sunday night. On them days, you get 9:30 window, 1 o'clock window, 4 o'clock window, and Sunday night. All day football for Bob. So I fucking love that shit. Those are my favorite. October may be my favorite month in sports, period. You get the crossover of Major League Baseball, which is starting their playoffs. NFL right in the middle of the season when things are starting to heat up. People are really knocking the rust off. The NBA season's about to start. Hockey starts. It's the only time all year all 4 sports are on at the same exact time. And then you add a 5th with college football in there too. My top wants to pop. Let's go. My sports brain is just throbbing at that point. So I'm ready for it. Anyway. Back to wrestling. So that's smart by him. They're looking to get increased in their deal. We should be looking to get increased in our deal. We've been putting on good stuff here too. You know?
I thought they've been Warner Brothers' biggest money makers. Properly say that.
Back to the story. If WWE gets a 40% increase on Raw as it did for SmackDown, it will be $658 million, of course. Raw and SmackDown combined to bring in double the viewers, and 1849 is Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. This puts AEW at an estimated value of $329 million per year, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter. However, it is unlikely to get that, although the rumor is around $200 to $240 million figure to be obtained.
He can get more. That's what they're offering him.
He said that's what the
Tony can get
rumor
more.
is.
Tony can get more.
Even at something like $170 million a year, AEW will still be profitable.
I still think Tony can get more.
I do too.
He can get more.
But
I can say if you don't want to
but
take
here's
the
my
water,
thing.
though.
Here's my thing. In order to get more, you have to have somebody that's going to be willing to pay you more. Meaning, like, there's somebody that's going to come and outbid this other company.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like there's somebody else that's going to come and outbid them, what reason would they have to give them more money? They're like, well, we're competing against ourselves here.
Yeah.
So I hope what you're saying is true and I'm wrong, but I'm just seeing both angles. Moving on. I'll talk about that once we get into Rampage. Moxley got a concussion this week, and it's crazy how I got involved with the match and everything. So we'll talk about that. So I'll skip that one for now. I'll save the funny for my last. It has to do with your WWE releases, so I'll get to that story once you get closer to that one. Hulu has confirmed that their WWE rights are set to expire. If you ever watch WWE on Hulu, which I like, it's a real truncated way to watch Raw or SmackDown and not have to sit there for the full 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, they cut all the commercials.
They cut, even more than that, they cut matches. You didn't know that? If you watch...
I really don't watch it on Hulu. I know you can watch. I used to watch it on Hulu. Like
Raw on Hulu,
SmackDown.
Raw on Hulu is 1 hour and 25 minutes. Smooth.
They put up there all the major stuff that you.
Yes, they cut the shit matches. They even cut shit. They're not just commercials. They cut shit matches. It's the shit. There's times I've watched the Raw on Hulu, come and did the show with you, and then you be telling me about something I didn't even fucking see. And I was like, oh, they must have cut that out. and just keep it to myself. And then now, with AEW doing more, I feel like the way we do it now is easier. It's like, you just cover WWE, I'll just cover AEW, and then that way we both have about 3 or 4 shows a week and shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but yeah, that's how they did it.
I wonder if when AEW they do go to Max, if they go to Max, will they do that?
No, because AEW walk commercials for a Dynamite show is between like an hour 40 to an hour
I mean, I
51
feel like
minutes.
do that show, but like I'm assuming they're gonna like replay the show. Will they just cut it?
They'll cut the commercials. Yeah, they'll cut the commercials. I don't think they would cut down. They don't have to because it's not as long as Raw.
Raw 3 hours.
Yeah. Even when I watch Raw Online, which is the full show without commercials, it's still every time like 2 hours and 10 minutes off top. Dynamite never that.
Shit all the time.
Dynamite's always on
That
average.
was always 2 hours.
Even when the commercials and it's cut down, it's always between like an hour 40 to an hour 50 minutes every single time.
I think NXT is the same way.
The Grand Slam without commercials, an hour 51 minutes. I just watched it.
Raw NXT. That's
what I'm saying. Like then, Rampage, for example, 44 minutes every time, 44 minutes. Like fuck it, it's quick. You know what I'm saying? You still get everything, but without all the bullshit. They even do it with them. You know how they go to commercial break? They'll do commercial break. They'll say on the show you're watching, like, "Oh, we're going to commercial. We're back in a second." But they won't go. They'll say it like that's on TV, but then they stay on commentary. So you still hear Tony Schiavone while they're doing the picture-in-picture. You're getting the in-ring without all the extra shit. I love that. But
like all wrestling pro, I feel like they all need to do it like that.
Yeah, they probably should. So anyway, Hulu reported that their contract was set to expire. WWE shows had expiration date countdown. Outside of the last few weeks of SmackDown, post on Twitter, streaming service confirmed their content license was almost up. Quote, Hulu here. Our streaming rights to WWE content are currently set to expire, but we'll currently share your interest in seeing them stay in our library with our team. For now, we suggest adding the shows in your My Stuff to be notified of any updates.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is the first time WWE content has been set to expire on the service, and not the first time this year, though. Oh, it's not the first time this year. However, it's seemingly only a few days ago, a new deal has not been made at this time.
You'll probably get a deal done. Hopefully.
It's more of my last story I said I'll be saving, so we'll come back on that one. About Moxley. Same thing. MJF takes a shot at baseball stars during an appearance at a Mets game. One of my funnies. MJF attended a New York Mets game earlier this week to promote AEW Dynamite. Took a couple Major League Baseball stars, some shots at a couple Major League Baseball stars. MJF appeared at the game earlier this week, promoting Grand Slam. He gave us his thoughts on several non-Mets players in a video posted online. He said on Chipper Jones, quote, Chipper Jones, known to be a bit of a Mets killer, but if you look into his eyes, you can tell he's a killer in real life. There's no way that man doesn't have a bunch of bodies hidden in his closet, along with a bunch of antibiotics he used to cheat against the Mets back in the days. But I digest. I digress.
He's a Mets fan, so he comes on some disrespect. That's one of the greatest third basemen ever. Probably say argument. He's probably one of the greatest third basemen ever.
Whoa.
So you can make an argument.
All right.
And thing is, you can make the argument. Keyword: pay attention. Keyword: you can make the argument. He's one of the greatest. I don't like him because he took a World Series away from my team. But
on Chase,
I won't go that far.
On Chase Utley. Let's just call him Chase Ugly, okay? The guy is disgusting. He's grotesque. You can smell his breath around the corner and in the upper deck, smuck. On the Philadelphia Fanatic. By far the dumbest mascot of professional sports. Everybody knows there's only one mascot that matters, and his name is Mr. Met.
No. I mean, I agree in terms of he's probably the dumbest mascot ever. I mean, wasn't he the one that broke his leg sliding into a dugout?
I can't remember, maybe.
That probably was him. I'm not sure.
So he basically said this on a Mets pregame.
Yeah, just taking a shot. Live up to his character.
Sheamus, the WWE contract, is reportedly set to expire next year. Fightful Select reports that has an update on WWE Superstar's contract, which is slated to expire later next year. According to reports, WWE source says that they have believed former champion Sheamus deal is set to expire in the first quarter of the first half of 2024. I'm hearing somewhere January, February season. The exact period is not confirmed since pro wrestling contracts have various caveats or clauses that could potentially extended wrestlers deal. A number of top superstars have contracts
Injury.
expiring in the next year, injury being one.
That's the main thing.
Including NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch, former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, whose contract reportedly expire in early 2024 also. All around the same time as Sheamus's. In 2019, WWE had reportedly locked up a great deal of wrestlers to 5-year contracts. However, several of those deals were renegotiated after that period and are said to have expired or about to expire near the beginning or end of 2024. 45-year-old Sheamus is a former WWE champion, World Heavyweight champion, United States champion. He's been a champion of every fucking thing there, including the Royal Rumble. The only thing he's never won is the IC belt. Moving on. He turns 46 years old in January 2024. And
Still going. Still putting on.
I could totally see him resigning there. I don't see this being a thing of like they're not meeting eye to eye and he wants something else. I could see him staying.
The only way he probably won't stay, he probably just decide. I feel like Sheamus was kind of in the point where he's just gonna run out his contract and just like be done with wrestling.
MJ.
I hope that's not true.
I can't tell the story because Clint wants me to save it, so we're gonna save it. But a good story about the PWI 500 coming next week.
I gotta check the list out. That's why.
Kevin Sullivan believes Cody Rhodes should never become a world champion in WWE. All right, this isn't a long one. We'll get into it though. Somebody doesn't want to finish the story. The latest episode of Tuesdays with the Taskmaster podcast. Kevin Sullivan explains why it's a great idea for Cody Rhodes to never become WWE champion, just like his father, Dusty. Quote, that's a great idea because his father never got the WWE belt. They always show that picture where he has the belt. That's something to think about. And I was against Cody beating Roman. I was very vocal about this because I think I told you, Paul, a few weeks ago, that was right after Sammy didn't beat Roman. I thought Sammy's people would have turned on Cody because he just come in. He didn't get over. He was Cody Rhodes and he got over. And because he had been there for years, left, made a huge name for himself, came back. I thought if he had ever won here, it would be almost looking like a corporate champion. I like that he didn't go over it. He's going to be interested whether to see if they go with WrestleMania 40 with Cody if The Rock comes in for Roman.
That's one of the legit questions on when Cody came back. A lot of people thought Cody's rise over put Sammy because Sammy was hot at that time.
Well, now you get to ask that same question with Cody in place of Sammy and The Rock in place of Cody. Because they may not finish the story in order to put The Rock here because they didn't do it last year. Now he has an open schedule because he currently no longer has a movie contract right now as far as like a deal to make movies with whatever official company. He was just released from that a couple weeks ago, as I told you on the phone. And the writers in Hollywood are on a strike. Nobody's making anything new. All the stuff that's coming out has already been made and in the window ready to be released. So he has free time on his hands. So does John Cena. That's why you seen him pop up recently too.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the damn strike.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he has time to do this now. So Cody ends up getting screwed in that. So we'll see what happens. Hey, maybe they slide him over if it's still on Seth at the time. Let him take that championship off of him. It's not. It doesn't mean as much to him. It doesn't mean as much to him because he wants the actual WWE strap because that's the one his father fought for. That's the one that Roman carries. But that's the end of my stories.
Let's see how that goes. Oh, okay. Quick one before we get to the main ones. First news, we're going to start with Randy Orton has been training to get back into the ring.
Voices in his head.
He's been seen at the Performance Center. Know that he had his bus been parked outside there since late August. And it's not no secret that he's been in the facilities among people. They also said that he is huge, but in a good way. Like he put on some more size. They said that he's been adamant that he want to get back into the ring, even though he has strict rules that said they have to work out some capacity when they arrive to the company. They said that, of course, there's been a lot of rumors about him possibly returning. SummerSlam was the last one, but he was nowhere near being medically cleared. You also had a thing where he had a scratch where he was being told that like he should never wrestle again. No, his dad I think said he's being advised he should never wrestle again. But Can't wait to see. I hope we do get Randy back. I want one more Orton run. You know, one of the safest workers in the business. One of the best characters in the business.
Well, his official tag team he was in before he had left from injury was officially over because his partner just got released, so he's going back solo, I'm guessing.
Yes, well, I'm about to get right into that last story. Martin J. Cargill.
We'll get there, my bad. As you want to talk about this, I have to say, the WWE just filed a trademark for the name Jada Parker. It sounds too goddamn close to Jade Cargill, so that's why I'm putting one and two together. That's going to be her name when she comes in. They also filed a bunch of other trademarks for like Out the Mud and some other shit. So let's see what happens. He's about to talk about her story about her jumping shit. By the way, AEW and her are on great terms. When they decided it was amicable split, it was nothing personal between the two. She didn't leave the company for any issue. She's just taking her shot at WWE, which honestly, she could have signed with WWE before AEW before, but there were two issues in the way of that at the time. Number one was she didn't have enough experience coming in, so I don't think they fully believed in what she could do. Two was the way that WWE does their timing of their deals and how much time you have to spend on the road. It didn't conduce with her and her daughter.
Yes, yeah.
And I guess now maybe they got that figured out.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because, yeah, she, do have a kid with,
Brandon Phillips.
Brandon Phillips, who used to play for
Major League Baseball for the Guardians and the Cincinnati Reds and some other teams.
Know that, she has arrived at the Performance Center. She will be there this week. Know that she will start out on Raw or SmackDown, so she's going to go straight to main roster. They said she signed to a main roster contract that is worth more than the $68,000 per year that most NXT talents receive. She's not making what Charlotte or Becky is making starting off, but she's gonna be one of the highest paid females there. She's already discussed being used internally. Her main roster push won't get treated like Tegan Knox or Candice LeRae. She'll be more of a priority because she got paid good money, and they're going to push her to justify paying her that money. They're already working on creative plans for her, but they don't know what those plans are yet. So, look forward to seeing her. All I'm hearing is that they're going to bill her as the first female of the Hurt Business, and then they either think about having when Bianca come back, either having them like form some kind of like power duo tag team, or possibly have them feud with each other. So I'd love to see a Bianca Belair Jade Cargill match. That's just gonna be just strength on strength on strength. Now you put them two together as a tag team, oh my god, it's just gonna be unfair.
I got one for you from my boys over at Wrestle Corner.
They're gonna do a push.
This is from my boys over at Wrestle Culture. I believe Adam Nicholas said this, so I got to quote him on that, so I found it hilarious. They said they should bring her in and have her make a tag team with Nia Jax. She could be Jade Cargill and Nia Cargill.
I don't want nobody pairing nobody with Nia Jax.
I just thought the Nia Cargill was hilarious.
Oh man. Let me get to the biggest news story which has been going on. A lot of cuts been happening, of course, you know, as the murder continue. They are laying off a lot of people. They laid off a lot of like executives and higher ups. Nobody a major focus really outside of big names, but Dana Warrior was the big name that been released from like the higher ups, the upper management, everything like that. Now we get to some of the superstars though. So you on no particular order here. Probably with the first round of cuts, probably the biggest name that probably shot some people is Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler, 2-time heavyweight champion, 2-time U.S. champion, 6-time Intercontinental champion. Rumor that he probably gonna go to AEW with his brother. His brother's there. Ain't his brother still in AEW? Right?
Speaking of Dolph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Elias, 4-time 24/7 I-95 North-South Kentucky champion.
They didn't release him.
Nice to get released.
No, you said no. when you say it like that, bro.
4-time 24/7 champion.
Oh yeah. When you speak of it like that, though, we talking about people over there. What's up? We talking about him. I thought you confused me when you started saying that. When you said that, I thought you talking about him. I'm like, he ain't get cut.
Oh no! Every time I say 24/7, every time I hear 24/7 champion, that's how I'm saying it.
I feel like he has a lifetime contract. Like, he ain't gonna fire him. He makes Vince laugh too much, so he's not gonna.
Brock break character. That's enough right there. He make Brock break character. That's enough right there. Shelton Benjamin, U.S. champion, 3-time Intercontinental champion, 3-time tag champion, 3-time 24/7 champion. I'm not about to say that like every time. Riddick Moss, 24/7 champion. Aaliyah, who actually was a women tag team champion. Think she won it with Raquel Rodriguez. Dana Brooke, who was a 15-time 24/7 champion. Think about that.
They just cut one of the greatest champions of all time.
Rick Booth, who was a 2-time 24/7 champion. They got rid of Dabba-Kato. I was so happy about that one. Mustafa Ali. Emma. Top Dollar. AJ Francis. We all know, I think he was a former NFL player. I think he played in the NFL for a little while.
Quick question, right quick. When they released Top Dollar, did they release the rest of Hit Row, or were they already cut?
No, just Top Dollar.
Okay.
The rest of them might get cut, though.
Here's my thing. You want to know why I think is behind that one? All right. So I feel like they felt like he was too outspoken. I feel like I feel like this is how they felt. If we keep you and we tell you to do some shit that you don't really want to do, you can go air that shit out on the internet, and then it's gonna trying to make us look bad or something like that. And I feel like they cut their risk reward losses with him. I feel like they feel like that about him more than the other two. Like they can put them motherfuckers in like some version of a new black retribution or some shit like that, and they'll accept their roles. But they feel like he won't, and that's why he.
And he always had a lasting memory of LA Knight calling him Uncle Phil.
Ooh. Yeah, it's hard to come back from that, bro. Damn, when did that happen?
Oh, I want to say SmackDown probably like a couple months ago. And when he beat, we recapped him when he beat like Ashanti did down to like 2 minutes. And he basically said, "Oh, you got Uncle Phil in the ring." Like, oh.
That's a good one. Okay, my bad. My bad.
Good. You got Massey and Mansoir.
Since you brought them up, I had an interesting story I've been saving for you to get to. So, Massey and Mansoir, they were talking about the releases.
Their name like that, which is crazy.
Massey and Francois. Mansoir. I said Francois.
I call Francois. I gave him a whole nother origin.
He's French now. Discussed their releases, and they took to Twitch on the stream on Thursday too.
Twitch?
Yeah, they went on Twitch and they were talking about it. Here's some highlights from what they said. They talked about. Okay, here we go. So they talked about when they got released. We can skip all that. I don't care about that.
I want to go to the one part you was talking about.
All I want to know is about the ideas that they pitched that got dropped. All right, so Mansoir on their pitch to be heavies for another star, but as Mansoir and Massey. But then you know what I mean? Like they're gonna go back up AJ Styles.
Oh my God.
Something like that. But wait,
That's unbelievable.
Let's hear from them. But wait, here we go. Quote: people like the Fixers idea. One of the directions people thought it could go was we could be the Miz's new stable. I thought
makes sense.
That's what I said too. I thought with the Miz that makes sense.
I see that.
I thought that would have been great. The Miz is awesome. He's always been great to us. I showed him the video, and he said it was great stuff. Everyone seemed to like it. It just didn't pan out for some reason. We weren't going to stop sending.
Man, because the Miz is like 1-33 so far this year. So like, I don't know.
Okay, Mansoir on their pitch to work with Cody Rhodes. Quote:
no.
One of the ideas we had in Maximum Male Models almost happened, but not this angle. We almost worked with Cody Rhodes. I wanted him to hit me with the crossroads, and it looked like my nose broke. Then I can do undashing. Like...
Wait, you want to recycle his old gimmick?
Let me finish.
That idea is why you got cut.
Then he could do undashing. I wanted to wear the mask like him and do the angle where I thought I was the ugliest person in the world and a horrible disfigured mutant. Everyone kept saying, we want male models to have more edge. We need to be more aggressive and vicious. What can we do? I kept saying, break my nose. I'm vicious. I'm a vicious goblin. That was fun.
That gimmick, no.
That was fun.
Okay.
I liked it.
Oh, God.
I liked it, that idea.
Oh, God.
That-
No.
That could have been funny.
No.
That could have
You
been
about to
funny.
still call it old
That
gimmick.
could have
What you
been
trying
funny.
to do?
That could have been
What,
funny.
man,
bro.
what Messiah gonna do? What he gonna do in that gimmick? Like, what he gonna do? Just there holding the mirror like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
acting soft. Like, we can reset your nose. No, I'm disfigured.
I'm ugly. He gonna be saying it.
Wait, we have more.
Guy have more ideas?
Mansour on the original plan for Otis' involvement with the group. Quote, the plan was Maxine was going to entice Otis to join us.
Yeah, we know that.
We're going to have Otis as a maximum male model with Chad Gable like, they're just using you, Otis. I'm your
Yeah, I
real
get it.
friend. The idea was one day it was Otis' big debut at Maximum Male Models. He was finally going to graduate and come out for a fashion show. Right before he comes out, Chad was going to go, they're going to set you up for a trap. And Otis like, you don't want me to be happy. He comes out, strikes a pose on the platform, and we dump slime on him. We had been begging the writers to bring back slime. Chad was going to come out, we kick his ass, and Otis makes a save, leading to a match. Sadly, the week after we did the segment where we were going to pitch to Otis, we were supposed to do a match with the Good Brothers. It got cut and pushed back. We got pulled into a person of high ranking office. I'm not going to say who said it. He said, I'll save it for my book. We're essentially told we're going to have to revamp the Maximum Male Models and adjust. And until then, we'll be off TV. We would get cut from being in the background of segments. It also came to a head where we were in the Andre Battle Royal. Producer Jason Jordan comes up with the spot where we get eliminated by Otis and Chad. Maxine is celebrating. We question her. Great, our story's going to continue. No, we're supposed to be in that match. When the spot aired, the person on the office...
That's not a bad idea with that one.
The person in the office who told us that we weren't supposed to be on TV stood up and said, who the hell let the models out? It happened again because we were in the Battle Royal for the IC title shot. We do a spot with Dexter Loomis and Johnny Gargano. The same thing happened. Who the hell let the models into the match again? Once that happened, we stopped traveling. It was over. We came in the process of pitching stuff because they told us we could be repackaged. Obviously, that didn't happen either. So they tried to save their shit because they saw the writing on the wall, and they were like, nah.
The gimmick they talking about, I can see with Maxine wasn't there. They talking about trying to play off like Maxine's supposed to be using Otis, but she really like, that's just you recycling the Mandy Rose thing, though. Like, wasn't Mandy Rose supposed to be like using Otis, but then she like fell for Otis? Like, they're just recycling the same thing.
Yes.
I'll picture recycle stories. It's part of the reason you got cut. You couldn't think of nothing original. The one with the Miz, I like that though. I felt they should have pushed it. I felt Miz is so respected there. If Miz would have fought hard for that, they would have gave that to Miz. I believe they would have. They could have gave that one to Miz if he would have fought hard. I believe that.
Back to what you're talking about, my man.
Your boy Shanky. Who was dancing on one day. It was, the one what was it? We was with the Airbnb was Denver and we was watching us on the SmackDown. Like he kept like dancing.
He's in a tag match, and every time dude would turn his back, he'd be like,
yeah. He was about to man the Irvin all like what this and shit like. Oh man. Quincy Elliott, we all remember him. Well,
some of us.
not all. He was on NXT leveled up. He was like the over the. His character was weird. Bryson Montana. Never really heard much of him. I think he probably was. Somebody probably was on TV. Probably like quick like squash segments. But seeing Leon, which is not shocking, but I thought they would do something with her and Valentina Ferraz. They had something going with there for a while with them too. But I think Ferraz, I think she like tore her ACL, so that kind of hurt her in a way because like you ain't really had nothing to do with her. Kevin Ventura Cortez, I don't know who.
A lot of the NXT ones that released, I didn't know. I lean on you for that. Like, the one,
Alexa Gray.
the one I asked you about prior to the show. It'll come back to me. Go ahead, don't worry about it.
Brooklyn Barlow been released.
Not hip.
She was
You'll say her name in a second. Go ahead.
she fought on
It's something with L.
she fought on NXT Level Up. She had a couple matches on there. Okay, now I'm trying to get his name right because I usually shit on him. I don't like this guy. Well, I usually call him Ikeman Jiro.
You got it right.
Okay, yeah, right. See, I got your name. I knew your name. I got your name right. Now, Ikeman Hero been released. We're gonna go to my release to call you. Call you. So, Abby Abdubi Fitzgerald. I don't even know who that is. And then the most shocking one has been Matt Riddle, who's been released. U.S. champion, 2-time Raw Tag Team champion.
Did you finish all the NXT ones? Because it was the NXT
Yeah.
lady I was talking about.
The only one that got released was Lucille Leon. That was it.
Her.
Yeah, that one with Valentine used to be with Valentine for Farad. They like had a tag team for a little while.
It might not be. I'll find it. Go ahead.
I think you're talking about Lola. What's that? She wasn't. She wasn't released.
Oh, they didn't?
No,
They
she
made it
didn't
seem
get
like she
released.
was. Okay.
No, she commented on the release.
Commenting on other people's release.
On other people's release.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it right now. They said there's gonna be some more cuts coming. Think about these cuts is that they're cutting people that like you ain't had nothing to do with them.
And you ain't had no creative for them. And can you also please go deeper into the Matt Riddle thing?
Yes.
Because I do not totally understand exactly what happened at the airport, but I'm assuming that's also leading to why he got released.
Okay, so basically the report from Matt
Other
Riddle,
than his drama at home with his ex-wife.
he had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he got a lot of
So the
backstage
news
drama. Go
report is
ahead.
that he been released because he burned through too many chances with the company.
That wasn't an applause for that statement. Yeah, I just was
timed.
It was actually timed perfectly if you think if I meant to hit it.
You should have timed that when I got his name right. That's when you should have timed that one.
Yeah, that was late applause for the Ikemanjiro.
So basically, he burned through too many chances with the company, according to higher ups. There was a talk that he was going to return on Monday since being out September 4th. He had bronchitis and a double ear infection, but the high.
A double ear infection. That's a rare one.
Yeah. But we're gonna go back to before we go to the they also said that they had no immediate creative plans for him. But the real reason is back to the chance he had a lot of incidences. First you remember the first WWE thing with the Me Too movement came out, I think his name he got accused of stalking, I wanna say it was his ex-wife, but that the proof actually came out that she actually was the one stalking him, basically, like WWE backed Riddle up in that lawsuit. But yeah, that didn't help his case. Then the JFK incident. So this is the JFK incident. So let me pull it up correctly. I want to make sure. Okay, so there was an incident at the JFK airport where Matt Riddle basically. This happened after the Superstar Spectacle taping in India. He basically said that a Port Authority police officer sexually assaulted him, but he later deleted that, and they opened an investigation into that incident. Now the thing they saying was that Riddle was apparently drunk and intoxicated to where that security officials had to get called. They tried to escort him out. Things got physical. And then that basically the gist of it. So basically, I look at like he was being a drunken ass and knew that he probably was in deep shit, and then tried to throw the SA allegations as a way to try to back his case. But after the internal investigation happened, he looked at it like, well, no, you was in the wrong in this whole situation. And the fact that you're going to lie and say that somebody sexually assaulted you, you know, That's something serious that ain't nobody gonna play with. Ain't no company gonna play with that. So that's basically the gist of what happened at JFK Airport. After that, he was pulled from the road there. So that basically the gist of what happened with him. Most of these guys are under 90-day non-compete. So most of them have to wait till December 21st so they can sign with anybody. Then we're gonna go into. Oh man, hold on. Okay, so also more leading to the news with that, we're gonna go into the whole news about the fact that Vince McMahon has possibly set the stage for his possible exit. He hinted that he went out of the family business according to regular filings due to the recent merger. All the TKO has registered all his shares for sale, basically helping him to avoid the lockout period that applied to other TKO stockholders. He owns 28.84 million TKO shares, which is valued at $3 billion. So, also him, two other TKO executives will be selling stockholders also. Wow, he's one of the greatest assets, but he also one of the biggest liabilities because, paying off to cover alleged sexual misconduct. He was served with federal search warrant and a grand jury subpoena of the investigation. He hasn't been charged with anything. They're looking at it like it's too high risk, which you knew this going into it. So why even, have any doubts if you knew all this would come to the light? And then the last thing, Matt Riddle. I'm gonna get to his ex. We had her. She been mentioned a couple times on this show. She always, always got something to say. So, she jumped on X. That's a new Twitter thing. Apparently, she had some comments. His girlfriend, who was Misha Montana, his ex-girlfriend dropped a post that said she had tears of joy when he got released. She clapped back at her about the comments. So
he's not with the porn star anymore. Now she's the ex.
No. His ex tore into. She said tears of joy about it being released, but it was kind of like a jab. Though. She said she had tears of joy. So his girlfriend, Misha Montana, who's the porn star, ripped into her over her comments. That didn't go well with her. She said she dropped 3 tweets, which include some heavy allegations, and then she basically blamed her for Riddle spiraling out of control. She said, "Stop calling victims liars. You are a disgrace for females, and you are a disgusting human, in my opinion. In a Home Depot, Walmart, etc. are jobs that people work every day to support their families. Porn and wrestling is not the only work out there, so buck up, buttercup." Then he said, "No one feels sorry for a man who was his own demise. Take out any allegation, and you still have a man sent to rehab multiple times, and you have a man posting a police officer falsely accusing him of sexual assault while being intoxicated in public. My life is his life, in my opinion, went spiraling out of control when he met you, but that's just my opinion." So, where she going to blame for that? This thing won't end no time soon. Yeah, Riddle has been speechless in all this. So that's it. All the news I got.
All right, let's get into Mount Rushmore right quick before we get into the shows and get ourselves out of here. Mount Rushmore are top rock moments. For me, I got a couple honorable mentions here. First honorable mention will be putting over the next big thing, SummerSlam 02, where he lost the Undisputed Championship to Brock Lesnar. And basically put a cherry on top of his 5-month rise through the company as the next big thing, as they said at the time. You know what I'm saying? One legend making another legend, I guess is the best way for me to say that one. My second one, I don't even want the words to come out of my mouth, but WrestleMania X8 Icon versus Icon against Hulk Hogan, you piece of shit. So, for obvious reasons, I don't even want to get more into that because half of the equation of it. But, yeah, that was a moment all time in his career. Do you have any honorables?
That was one of them, the Brock Lesnar thing. I like the fact that he was always wanting to put people over.
Yeah.
Like, this is the same guy in the peak of his career got pinned by Stephanie McMahon, who's not a wrestler at all. At all. Like, he was willing to put other people over, and he ain't have a problem with it. It was one of the reasons that a lot of people loved and respected the Rock backstage. That's one of them. Another honorable mention is oh, this is a lot. I just had it on the tip of my tongue to say honorable mention. Second honorable mention was his match against all the greats he had. I like how he would incorporate people and mock their moves. Like at the WrestleMania when they faced Evolution, when he was like being Ric Flair on the rope, he started strutting and did the woo, did it like smacking over the top rope.
WrestleMania 20.
The one with Hulk Hogan when he was a heel and he did that. He did the. Okay, like
That was the Icon versus Icon.
The one with Houston, my Eddie Guerrero, like he just like talking like broken down like man, Eddie Guerrero, like just little stuff like that. Like it's all his promos, man, was phenomenal. So this honorable mentions right there. All the time he picked out Coach. Do the Charleston, Coach, and he over there. Kevin Kelly or Herbie. Stick it in, Herbie. Like there's a lot of promos he had. That's another honorable mention for when it comes to the Rock though. It's your number 4.
All right, I have no particular order for these.
These
I'm
are
gonna throw them out. But if I have to say number 4 out of these, I had a different 4, but I'm gonna go with this one. Creating You Smell What the Rock is Cooking. So a little background of this. This happened at WrestleMania 14. By the time WrestleMania X1V, because they did it in Roman numerals back then, WrestleMania 14 rolled around. Rocky Maivia was now The Rock, as he was a member of the hated Nation of Domination, and he was once again the Intercontinental Champion. He was also defending the title against the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. The match ultimately played second fiddle, though, to a pre-taped interview that he had that basically defined him as the Great One. An interview was conducted by the infamous Jennifer Flowers. If you don't know who Jennifer Flowers is, she was one of the women that former President Bill Clinton been supposedly sleeping with while he was governor of Arkansas, I believe, or while he was in the White House, one or the other. Anyway, she was responsible for coining the catchphrase that would become The Rock's calling card. Rather than try to transcribe or quote the entire thing, it has been embedded above in this article that I'm reading, so we'll ignore that part. But the interview basically what he said was he was answering something she said, and he was like, well, something, if you smell what The Rock's cooking. And he kind of said it flippantly like that, but then that became the phrase. The interview proved that The Rock could only play one of the roles of a cocky, arrogant young ass. He also could be witty, funny, and smart. Above all else, he created a catchphrase that could be repeated by fans everywhere and it could be plastered on the front of t-shirts for merchandise purposes. Mm-hmm. Definitively one of the most underrated moments of the Hall of Fame career of the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Go with your next.
That's a good one. Simple. Number 4. You talk about that one. How about the fact that Later to SmackDown. You created a whole show, bro. Off that word.
Yeah.
It's in the dictionary. Because of The Rock. Think about it. You said that word. Somebody we're gonna come with a notion. We're just gonna name it SmackDown. That's why it's the People's Show. People's Show. Just everything, just everything. It's crazy, man. The fact that you got a whole show created because of one word. That he says all the time, so that'd be my number 4.
My number 3 is one of the favorite moments of many people's. Mick Foley's "This Is Your Life" segment on Raw. This is a great one. I'll read the story from the article I have about this. So, the highest rated segment in the history of Monday Night Raw, "This Is Your Life," was a piece of sports entertainment gold that involved any two lesser talented performers, it would have probably been entertainment crap. For over 20 minutes, Mankind tried out important people in the life of The Rock, only for The Rock to dog them and then send them on their way. It was a great moment that got Mick Foley got The Rock to break character. This also cemented how much of a great tag team they were because of their chemistry with the Rock and Sock connection. So I should have had Rock and Sock Connection as also one of my honorable mentions, one of my favorite tag teams of all time, because they were such an odd couple, but it worked.
Yeah.
They were great as opponents. Also, since I'm saying it, have it in my honorable mentions, I forgot about mentioning this one. Royal Rumble 99, his match against Mankind, the I Quit match, classic. For multiple reasons. Number one, it's classic to me because if Beyond the Mat was a movie that came out in 98, and they were interviewing Mankind right around that time and had intimate footage of Mankind's family as they emoted over every chair shot The Rock gave him, and that's when you caught chair shots straight to the dome back then. And you just seeing Dewey and his daughter just crying and emoting. It was just so crazy to see it through their eyes. And then he has to go back and console him with his face half bloody. I'm like, no, Dad, that's fine. It's okay, Dad, that's fine.
Well,
and then The Rock,
but it wound up being 11.
and then The Rock had to go back and tell him like, no, me and Daddy friends, we're okay. After the fact and stuff like that to cool it out. It was just crazy seeing it from the actual family member of the person who's getting the crap beaten out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his wife, she was going apoplectic during it too. Like, this is too much. Like, you can't keep doing this shit to me, bro. Like, you can't do that. So I always found that interesting. It was a great match also. Plus, the way they simulated the I Quit, because he didn't really say that shit. They played the tape. But anyway, this they have a great history together, and this is one of the greatest moments of their history together. I wanted to highlight it. This is your life segment. Go ahead.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, again, no particular order. His feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean...
Yeah, that's
like,
my number one. It's
like,
their trilogy, so
like
I'll skip my number one.
Like, Stone Cold basically said to himself, he said in his biography, he said he wanted his last match to be, well, supposedly was his last match at the time, he said to be with The Rock. Right? He said, why not have it with the guy that I've been with the longest, he's my best friend in this business, we've been through thick and thin together, we've been on the good side, good and bad, I've been good, he been bad, I've been bad, he been good, you know, and then that final moment at the end when The Rock said, because they kept like, what did you say to him? Like, cause after you get the win, you sit over there and you talking to him, I think he said he thanked him, he said he loved him, and then he said, I'm about to go, this your moment, cause so he go the time, then he just leave. And then after the camera, just Austin soaking in the crowd and everybody say thanks. So that was a cool moment right there. Like them two go and they tight like this to this day. Need to get on the Smoking Skull section though one day.
Oh, that'll happen.
Oh,
And it might happen in the next couple months now that he's kind of back with the company and stuff.
Yeah, so
he got some free time on his hands from Hollywood.
I love to see that. Them two on there.
All right, so since you mentioned my number one with that, I totally agree. I'm going to give you my number 2. And you might be one of the ones you agree with, you tell me. This was the greatest moment at this point in his career. He's had greater after, but at this point, this was the greatest moment of his career. And that would be the 1998 Survivor Series Deadly Game Tournament.
Time he won the championship.
When he became Corporate Rock, his first world championship. Reading from the article. Heading into the 98 Survivor Series, The Rock had been on a tremendous role, a fully fledged babyface. Even a nonsensical loss to Mark Henry could not derail the momentum he had entering the annual November extravaganza. One of the favorites to win the tournament, The Rock rolled over his competition, easily advancing to the finals. His opponent was Mankind, the Duran superstar who had been a pawn of Mr. McMahon's game to keep Austin from winning the title. The two superstars battered one another until the finish, which saw The Rock uncharacteristically apply a sharpshooter, a submission made famous the year before by Bret Hart in the 97 Survivor Series of the...
Infamous Screwjob.
Yeah, exactly. So they basically tried to play off of the screw job and the heat they had there by him putting a sharpshooter on Mick and then them hurry up and calling for the bell to end the match. Vince McMahon immediately called for the bell, ringing out the Hart Finkel announced The Rock as the winner and the new World Federation champion, and fans were in shock and it's clear Mankind never submitted. With the new champions embracing both Vince and Shane McMahon, it became clear he turned his back on the very fans that had been so ready to accept him and instead embraced the money and the guarantee of a World Federation title. As 98 came to a close, The Rock was the top heel in the sport and one of the brightest stars and a major reason the company had begun to take control of the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like he knew that Rocky Maivia character was going stale at that time. I think he said he like tore his knee up, so he had to get surgery. That became explanation of domination. The fact that he was so over still as a heel, they had to turn. They had no choice but to turn him babyface. Babyface. Like they couldn't boom with everything he was saying. My number 2, it's a simple one. It's probably one of my favorites of all time. And they're like, yeah, it's a move. That people's elbow when he in the loaf and he just slid. That people's elbow. That one. And the one when he just kicked, I'll take himself and just kicked, he just dropped the elbow on him. Like the story about the people's elbow, like they said that like that move was he literally did that move to make Undertaker like break in a match. Like there was the thing like I'm about to do something to make him break. And they said they had a match he does to people's elbow. And they said he got Taker to break. He said Taker went back to him like, man, what kind of move like is that? Like you dropped the elbow? Like and it's still my opinion. I'm sorry, it's still one of the worst finishers ever. I'm sorry, you can't beat nobody with that elbow. Like it's more the theatrics of King saying, "Here comes the monster." Like that what sums it up. The taking off the elbow pad or the glasses. Only he could make a move so bad, look so electrifying. You know. So that was my number 2.
As I stated, the trilogy with Stone Cold was my number 1. So go ahead with your number 1.
Probably 17 is probably the best match ever. Probably you say probably one of Rock's best match ever. Him and Stone Cold. My number 1 is actually like out of all the good everything like Hollywood Rock. I just love the Rock concerts. The one when he dogged Sacramento when he said, I should be back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. Got a massive boo from what's name. He called Canada a bunch of mother Canuckers. No, mother Canuckers. The theme song, man, like the theme song was raw, like the it's cock, and then it would drop so like dun dun. Then he had If You Smell like, and then just what's name. So it's like, I love Hollywood Rock. Used to wear the vest all the time. Used to feud with Stone Cold. He also took some bad losses. I mean, lost to Goldberg in like 3 minutes. And he lost to the Hurricane. I think I was there for that one. That was in Cleveland. So, yeah. So number 1 probably be Hollywood Rock. With a lot of moments you could say from though. I mean, you could have you could do a Mount Rushmore just Rock promo. Hell in a Cell promo, get him a pickup truck, drinking Steve Weiser, like, my name is Bob. No, like, no, my name is Billy. It doesn't matter. That one. So, it's a lot of promos that you can go through.
He ended that man's soul run with that one.
He got with that one, man. And then the one promo was underrated was one he had been Wall and Kane. He like, well, Kane, since you like finding things, and he said, Benoit, if you like touching things, he said something like, well, how about y'all two? He said, get in a locker room, get in a dark room, and Benoit proved to Kane that you're not a woman. He said, and Kane, since you like finding things, you go find the ball that Benoit claims he had. And I was like, oh. At the one time, I was like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, he pushed the envelope, man. That's one of my favorite promos. It's an underrated promo though. But that one was funny. And that was the Mount Rushmore. The People's Champion. You know.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get into it. We're going to start off with these shows. So, I'm going to go through these pay-per-views like we normally do, but truncate the weekly shows in between, highlighting on what was important, basically. Let's start off with WWE Payback.
Alrighty, pull my stuff from the last couple weeks up so I can get it ready. Alright, Payback. Like I said, only 6 matches here. Started off with a great match. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, the steel cage match. This match basically was a homage to them throwing like old moves. Like Trish hit a Widow's Peak. Shout out to Victoria. Becky Lynch hit a Twist of Fate, which you kind of figured that was going to happen. Then Trish basically almost makes her escape, get to the top of the cage, get caught by Lynch, pulled her back in, hung her upside down, hit a nice superplex. Zoe Stark basically tried to get involved in this match, slammed the door in her face. Lynch get back to her feet, hit her with a manhandle slam. Stark come in and break the pin. Then she closed the door. Her and Zoe start fighting. Trish tried to escape, but Stark eats a manhandle slam, hit a manslander on Trish from the top rope for the win. After the match, Trish basically told Zoe, like, get out the ring and slapped her. Basically, Zoe just hit her with the Z360 before walking off. So, seeing that, given that Trish's limitations, she was like 47, so the fact that it was a good match for what you can expect. I also like the fact that Zoe wasn't involved heavily, like she wasn't like making her presence known all the time in that match, except for key moments. So shout out for there. Miz versus LA Knight. I mean, this match was basically John Cena giving this seal of approval to LA Knight. Basically, he aims to beat the BFT. Blunt Force Trauma, him and Cena shake hands. They have some words right before they shake hands. He got Dorf Cena, which was a good thing. Next was Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. For some reason, Rey Mysterio always does the Cinnamon Toast Crunches matches. His gear was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch themed. Great back and forth match. Rey Mysterio for 46, bro, still can go. Like, he had this nice slide tornado DDT outside the ring. Theory with a nice torture rat power bomb to a drop kick. Mysterio with some 619s. A-Town down. Mysterio counter with a roll up. This match was shorter than the night LA Knight Miz match. I think that match was like 15 minutes. LA Knight and the Miz did. The Tag Team Championship. This match was just chaos. And I love chaos. I love controlled chaos. I love in a controlled environment. Excuse me. Start off brawling. Balor brings weapons in first, use a kendo stick. They have a nice spot where they beat up Balor after Balor stomped on the Pittsburgh Steelers terrible towel. Which I've got to mention, they came out here wearing Pittsburgh Penguin hockey jerseys. I want to say Owens, I think, was Mario Lemieux. I forgot who Sami Zayn jersey was. Sidney Crosby. So that was a nice, what's the name? Back and forth match with kendo stick. Dominic came in this match, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened in this match. How did Kevin Owens get busted open? They said
I don't remember
They said
that.
with the elbow from Dominic Mysterio. Some people probably saying Triple H let him blade in honor of Terry Funk.
I think he did. I think that's what happened.
That's a lot of people saying Triple H let him blade in honor of Terry Funk.
Can I mention my favorite part of maybe all of wrestling for the last 5 years happened in this match? Maybe all of life, especially considering the events that happened last Monday. When he stomped on that terrible towel,
I just mentioned that.
it warmed my fucking heart.
That's when I was like, you know what? He always
They should make a meme out of
He
that.
always call you Irish Pac. I was like, you Irish Pac for that.
White Pac.
You white Pac. The clean to me is like, okay, I'll give you
They
that.
need to make a
I'll give
meme
you
of
that
that
one.
shit and put it on
It's
the
way
fucking
he-
Browns
it's the way he
website.
did it too, though. Like,
They need to make a meme out of that moment and put it on the fucking Browns website. Because he was like, oh yeah? Fuck that shit. And it jumped on. I was like, hell yeah. Sorry, I needed to say it.
no, you're good. And then they basically came back. Then Zayn with a Blue Thunder bound to a pile of chairs. Then they started using this part I like too. They started using hockey sticks, so they're beating the hell out of you in hockey sticks while I'm Pittsburgh Penguin jerseys on, which was funny. Then Zayn with a dive off of death. Kevin Owens, man, I swear, he just like jumping off stuff. First of all, that swanton bomb he hit through that table was so scary. It was like this close to him hitting his head. Like, I'm like, ooh, like, a little close there, a little close. But I mean, then of course, JD Madonna comes out here, but we're gonna get to the end to where Kevin Owens got speared through the barricade by Rhea Ripley. I'm like, dang, mommy, okay. Basically, and then that gets to the end of the match when Haluva kick, Mysterio hit Zayn with the Money to Break briefcase. Balor gets the pin. New tag team champions, which kind of, you understand that they were kind of really had enough for them too. Also, too, I think Owens still battling injuries throughout the course. So it sucks every time they get like a belt. It's like Owens, that's when he always get hit with the injury bug. But he just came back from, I think, like some rib injuries or some ribs. So then we get Cody Rhodes who joined the Grayson Waller effect. This basically.
Can we stop giving people fucking TV shows, man? Can we please stop? If you could count on your hand, how many do they have currently? And then all time at that. Like, Jesus. All right, so you got Grayson Waller effect. You got the Miz's shit.
Yeah, I like Grayson Waller effect because it goes back to NXT.
But still, he didn't need to have it then. It was too many when he had it then.
It wasn't now NXT. I get what you're saying, but like, talking to me, but no, I'm not going to give you that one, though. NXT, no. I count NXT as a different promotion from WWE. I think NXT is its own brand. Like, I don't lump it with Raw SmackDown. I don't. No.
It's the concept. It's the concept.
And I like his show. His show I like because he's such a condescending heel. It makes sense. Like all the comments are just fake names of people praising him. Praising him. Like the only thing I hate about all TV show and his show, it don't really end in fighting like most of these other shows do. Like all the other shows, you know, are fighting something. It don't happen on his show. His show, sometimes you have fights. Sometimes he don't. Like this one, he didn't end a fight.
They be tripping though, bro. Like didn't fucking Baron Corbin have one with Riddick Moss when they used to be that like comedy duo and shit?
Not everybody should have.
That's what I'm saying. Like they do that shit too much. So the rub of those bad ones rubs off on this one, even though you brought it from NXT and you feel like it's a good one. It's still one too many.
If you have no charisma, you shouldn't have TV shows. You shouldn't have no talk show. Baron Corbin has no charisma. Riddick Moss has no charisma. So they should have a talk show. But the ones that you get talk shows to, though, to have some Chris Jericho, understand, makes sense. The Miz makes sense. I like Grayson Waller, makes sense. Didn't Edge have one?
At one point in time.
At one point in time?
Yeah. So did Jericho.
I said Jericho.
Yeah.
No, them.
So did Christian. I think Christian had one,
I don't
bro.
remember Christian had one.
I forgot what it was called. I think Christian had one. I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
Christian had one? I don't remember.
I'm gonna look it
up. I know
up.
he
Go
took
ahead.
over Jericho for one night when he basically said that he used a political pull he had to get a new member of the Monday Night Raw, and it was Jey Uso. Waller ate a super kick. Next we get the Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Match you expect, power match between two powerhouses. Dominic basically interjects himself in this match to help Ripley get the win here. They played off the fact. Oh, you did have one?
The Peep Show.
Oh God, he did go afraid. He was calling himself Peep. Oh yeah, that's probably why I don't remember that show. That's not a Christian I like. I don't know. Oh God, I'm the Peep Show.
Yep.
Oh man.
He had it on SmackDown in 2000. He had it on SmackDown in 2005.
Oh man, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one at all.
Leading to my point, there's too many of them.
I said I'm not gonna let the bad ones penalize the good ones. The good ones I enjoy. Okay. That's why I said them four: Jericho, Miz, Grayson Waller. Who's the third? Who's the fourth one I said? Oh, the KO show. Now his show is always gonna be some fighting on his show. His show just predicated on it. But yeah, I'm not gonna let a couple bad ones penalize the ones that I do like. And you gotta be condescending heels to get your own TV show. All them guys were just like self-absorbed. Like you look at their character and be like, they need TV shows. They will create a TV show about themselves. That's how arrogant it was. They was. But yeah, I didn't know Christian had one. The Peep Show? Yeah, oh God, okay. Oh, next. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Great match. Great match between these two. Basically, with the whole thing, it's the same thing. Shin working the back of Rollins because that was the weak point. Kinshasa, Rollins collapsed. Shin started to get frustrated. Pedigree, couple stomps, reversal before Rollins finally hit a stomp to get the win. Win and that was last match.
That was main event.
That was your main event. Yep. So, yeah, that was your main event. So that's the end.
That was Payback.
That was Payback.
All right, let's get into All Out 2023. A week after an amazing All In London, you would figure they shot their wad. They're not going to deliver you a good show. I hear people say that this damn show might have been better than the one the week before. And I love the one the week before. And I did love this one too. It had its own way to itself. Let's get into it. On the 0 hour, there was the budget charity value battle royal. Basically, whoever won this battle royal got to pick a charity of their choice, and they were gonna give them, I think they said $50,000. The winner of this battle royal ended up being Hangman Page, and he did give his to the Teachers of Chicago.
That's right.
The members that were in part of this battle royal were the Best Friends, Dalton Castle, Matt Menard, Tony Nese, Kyle Fletcher.
Guys with him.
The boys, they were at
Yeah.
ringside, but they weren't in the match.
Oh, they was making stairs for him when he walked
No,
in.
but
That
he
was
was-
the battle royal, so of course.
But he was feeding them fake bird food and shit,
Oh,
you know,
of course.
as he does.
Of course.
Aussie Open, as I said, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis were in here. Serpentico, Action Andretti, Darius Martin, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Angelo Parker, Scorpio Sky. All the members of yeah, he came back from injury.
I hope stay healthy.
All the members of the Mogul affiliates outside of Swerve Strickland, which
So
is
Chris Nana was in there.
no, Prince Nana was. He was at ringside. Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Hangman, as I said, who won it. Sean Spears and Commander. Moving on from there, it went as typical battle royals do, and as I said, Hangman Page won it. For me to sit here and break down how every elimination happened would take forever. So we're gonna skip that. Your next match on the 0 hour was Hikaru Shida, Willow Nightingale, and Sky Blue taking on Athena, Mercedes Martinez, and Diamante. So basically,
Possibly Diamante. G
They-
still getting put on TV. I mean, every time I'm like, where's Diamante at? Bing! They put her on something.
you know what I like about her?
You know, she up to 305 hard too.
Look. Okay, here's the thing about her. Okay, so the match. This basically was just everybody was not involved in important title feuds in AEW in the women's division, or also including ROH women.
Right.
Even though you're ROH women's champion in this
She'll
match.
have a match.
Mercedes Martinez in this match, who's like #1 contender for that belt or something like that. I know she's been fighting Willow Nightingale for the #1 contendership. She's teamed with Diamante, that's her tag partner.
Yeah,
so
I know that.
they're teaming with the heel champion. I understand that, against the possible future opponent in Nightingale, which Athena beat Nightingale at Death Before the Sign, I believe, was the last ROH pay-per-view, but I can see her still being in that mix. Sky Blue, been on the rise in the women's division. On the AEW side, I can see her being in the mix over in ROH just to give her some more work. And Hikaru Shida is self-explanatory.
I hope
And
they give Sky Blue some love. Like that cameraman who always be zooming in on Sky Blue. I don't know who that cameraman is, but it just feel like he be fixated on Sky Blue every time she be in the ring. I'm like, oh, there go that shot. And I always see it on Facebook. Look at that shot. he got a shot. But yeah, my fault. Continue.
no, you're fine. And then, so basically, this match came down to Nightingale hitting a pounce on Athena into a barricade. Martinez whipped hard into the barricade. Also, as a bonus from there, thrown back into the ring. Cold Blue finishes off Martinez 8 minutes and 23 seconds.
Who got the win?
What I was gonna say was, the thing I love about Diamante is she is a walking Japanese match in
Yes.
America. What I mean by that is, if you've ever watched New Japan, and it may not be a lot of current New Japan, but New Japan, when I first started watching, like 2016, they did this shit a lot. they would openly swear on television, like during the match. Like they'll be in midair about to drop their feet on somebody for a drop kick, like "fuck you, bam." Bro, she did that shit. If it wasn't this match, it was a tag match she had with Martinez prior to this, and you could literally hear it. I was dying. She's like, "Fuck you, bam," and then hit her with an uppercut. And like, "Fuck you," do it again. I always find it hilarious. I don't know why. It's just the little kid in me, I guess. I don't know. Swear words are funny. Moving on from there.
Swearing to be somebody else.
Moving on from there, a 0 Hour Trios match. Up. The Acclaim and Billy Gunn taking on, we have Wild Slapnuts in the loose. Dylan.
J-E-double-J-A-double-R-E to Doty Jump Chair. You took me off guard when you said a Wild Slap.
Sorry.
You got me with that one.
Hold on. It's a Wild Slapnuts in the loose. Hold on.
We gotta have another Jarrett moment. I gotta redeem myself.
We gotta
That was a botchy.
We gotta wrangle them. Up.
That was a botchy.
Yeah. So this one didn't go long.
I got my REI on with that Jeff shirt. That was a botch.
The arrival into the mic drop finishes him off. There's a famous to Lethal also. Oh, I remember what else was important to this match. They were the Acclaim, that is, were Man to the Ring by Dennis Rodman. If you remember our last show, we talked about Dennis Rodman being interrupted by Slapnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the retribution match from that because Slapnuts then wanted Rodman to join them. He said no. He had came down, hit a move in the match also. I believe it was on Jarrett. It was on Jarrett or Lethal. Yeah, on Jarrett or Lethal. No. I remember. Now I remember. All right. So the guitar Slapnut comes to the ring with. Got commendated from him somehow, and ended up with Rodman hitting Satnam Singh with it. And he didn't pull back on that shit at all. He swung that bitch like a baseball bat, bro. He hit the fuck out of Satnam Singh on that. So I hope he got some extra ducats in his paycheck that week for that one, because Rodman didn't hold back on that at all.
He took that shit to the dog.
At all. And as I said, that led to Famous and Lethal, the arrival in the mic drop. The Acclaim retained the Trios Championship. That was it on the 0 Hour. Let's get to our main card. Main card starts off with the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match. The Dark Order taking on the defending champions MJF and Adam Cole. Baby!
Better than you, baby!
Now, as soon as the match started, the fans were chanting for the double clothesline, which eventually they got to. They even chanted for a single clothesline by Cole that knocked one of the members of the Dark Order to the outside. Eventually, this match took about 14 minutes. They won with the double clothesline to retain. So, they're getting it over. As the match ends, this is some of the best shit this season. What we're talking now is a through storyline point in not only AEW but our show, because it's going to culminate in the last show that I reviewed, which was Grand Slam. We'll get there. Anyway, so as MJF is being helped out the ring, he's having neck issues, which is just hilarious because Adam Cole having to deal with Roderick Strong's neck issues and him acting like a salty bitch with the Kingdom at his side about it. So now he's showing neck issues, and Adam's trying to help him to the back. As he's walking down, or walking up the ramp, I should say, and Samoa Joe's music hits. His music hits as he's coming down the ramp. He just pushes him like he pushed him when he was in NXT and he's playing a security guard back in 2018. So basically, he pushes him out the way. MJF starts to hold back, but then he says, fuck that. He runs to the ring, and they kind of scrap for a minute and tussle before they're separated. But this is going to lead to something later down the line. He applied a front face lock to him. Joe applied a front face lock to him, too, before the fight was broken up. Next match was Samoa Joe taking on Shane Taylor. Didn't know Shane Taylor's from Cleveland. Yeah. Shout out to Shane Taylor. Ring of Honor TV title. Joe's defending champion here. Slugged him to the corner to start the match. Shane Taylor put up a good fight, but eventually he went down at the hands of Joe. They forearmed it out until Joe pulled him into a coquina clutch to win in 6 minutes and 20 seconds. The match seemed longer than that, though. Your next matchup was TNT title match. Luchasaurus taking on Darby Allin. Darby Allin got destroyed in this match. For Luchasaurus to retain. Darby Allin was.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. We all know that. Yo! That's Christian's belt. That ain't Luchasaurus' belt. He just holding it there.
We had a Christian moment earlier, so I'm not going to get back into it. Go! I'm not going to get back into it. But.
No, you gotta know.
If you look into my... No, I'm not. Scars never heal. Anyway, so Luchasaurus basically destroyed. He basically destroyed Darby Allin pillar to post. He was busted open during this match. He sat his torso underneath the ring steps and like stomped on him, which was weird. Kind of reminding me of the Braun.
I'm gonna get to that. Yeah.
The Braun Breaker moment you're talking about. Yeah, we'll get to that. Luchasaurus retains the title in lieu of Christian in 12 minutes and 9 seconds, I guess I'll say, instead of saying he was the champion there. Post-match, they were going to go for a concerto, but a bunch of people that were faces in the back ran in and make the save for Darby Allin. Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro have a match next, recapping their short history. This match,
short history it is.
It was man meat slapping man meat with a lot of people like that, horse on horse battle. This one had an interesting ending though. At the end of the match, Miro connected with a Mosca kick. Hobbs planted him with another shot for a 2 count. They slug it out until Miro blocks him with a running clothesline. The game over is actually broken up, and Hobbs grabs a spine buster for another 2 count. Hobbs loads up for his own game over. Miro fights out of it, puts him down, hits the real game over for the victory. The match went about 15 minutes. The best part of this one was post-match Hobbs. They were going to shake hands. Hobbs turned down a handshake and starts to jump Miro. Out of nowhere, you know who shows up?
Tables!
No. Lana.
Tables!
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Also known as CJ Perry.
Yes.
Tables came down to the ring. She hits Hobbs in the back with the chair, but it was one of those I'm going to eat this chair shots, so he didn't do anything. Right. But it was enough distraction to let Miro make the save for her from Hobbs and run him off. But instead of embracing his hot, flexible wife, he kind of looks at her in disdain and walks off.
Yeah.
So, we'll see where this goes. Maybe he feels like he hasn't earned the love of his hot, beautiful, flexible wife yet. These are his words.
You're not WWE no more. You ain't got to worry about her having sex with black dudes and all that. No.
Well, I'm saying that these are his words, not mine. But here's what we ain't got to worry about in WWE. She ain't going to wrestle. She cut a promo after this, and I can talk about it now because that's something I'm going to skip when we talk about Dynamite this week. Well, she said she's going to be the best manager in wrestling to take his side. I said, yes, we don't need to see you in the fucking ring.
You damn sure don't. She might be worse than Arion.
Hey. We keep banging on Arion. Arion is improved, okay?
I feel she's worse her.
But the fact that you brought her name up, you brought her name up in comparison.
I would put Lana better than her because Lana used to make me laugh when she used to go through tables like every week. I was waiting for the spot when she's about to go through a table. I'm like, y'all care. I don't care if you ain't got nothing to do. Y'all better find a way for her to go through a table. I don't care if it's back. I don't care if it's a catering table. She gotta go through a table. Every week, night down, got put her. That's the one.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment of the whole shit.
We just anticipating when she gonna get put through that table. Oh, there it is. All right.
Next up is you're fine. Next up is a TBS title match: Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho.
My girl, the alien.
Soho with Soraya came down to the ring, and this you figure come out like the typical Outcast match, with a lot of interference leading to one of the Outcast members winning and them spray painting a big L for loser on the losing opponent or whatever. Well, things have been going differently for the Outcast recently due to Tony Storm kind of going through a metamorphosis, I'll say.
I figured out, no. I would say this. As much as I bang on like AEW and their women division, this whole Marilyn Monroe thing y'all got going on with Tony Storm is fucking awesome.
She's hilarious.
She got better than a robot, but she walked the way she be walking, talking about tits up and everything like that. Like she got the hair like Marilyn Monroe down.
I didn't know that we could say tits on TV, but I guess we can now because she says it every fucking week. She says it every fucking week.
Up, tits out. Watch out for the shoes. Like, watch out for the shoes. Hey!
That's the way she said it, though. She was like, and watch out for the shoe. That was the best, bro. I was dying.
She's doing her best work right now. I'm so happy she left WWE. She's one of the people I'm like, if she was to leave, she'd get mad. I'm so glad she left. I'm loving everything about Toni Storm. 2-time champion, doing some of her best work. Props.
So this match with Soho. Soho was starting to get over. They were spitting spots, Blue Thunder Bomb by Statlander gave her 2 count, but Soho pulls her off the ropes into a no future. Then a Destination Unknown got a 2 count. They're about to get the spray paint like they usually do. As she's about to go for the spray paint that Saraya put in the corner as she distracted the ref, out from under the ring comes Toni Storm. She grabs the spray paint and then proceeds to spray it in the air, misting it like she's walking into some perfume.
That would got
like,
me. That got me like, what the
and Soho's looking at her like, bitch, what are you doing?
Like,
give me the fucking can, what are you doing?
You know that spray paint, you can't walk through that shit. That shit can hurt your eyes.
Statlander hits a Saturday Night Fever. In this case, it was on Sunday. I guess it depends on what day of the week she's hitting the fucking move. So this time it was a Sunday Night Fever. To retain in 12 minutes. Great match. Love the involvement of Toni Storm there. We'll see where this goes with more of the Outcasts and their breakdown. Next match, I'm not going to say it was a terrible build because it wasn't a terrible build. How they got to where this match was a little hokey, but the match they gave you, 5 stars. So the next match is Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks. They had a strap match. What led to this is the fact that CM Punk had defeated Ricky Starks in a match for the real World Championship, which no longer exists because he's no longer with the company now. And after Ricky Starks lost the match, because the match was refereed by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, after the match, he proceeded to beat Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with his own belt because he was pissed off about it. I think he did it again the next week after that, too, when he was supposed to come out and give him an apology. Daniel Bryan's watching this at home, healing up from his broken forearm from Forbidden Door in his match against Okada. And he said, Ricky Dragon Steamboat is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. It helped me get into this business and showed me so much love and generosity my whole time. And you have the nerve to beat on an over 70-year-old man like this. So the week before this, or the Dynamite before this match, they basically were going to suggest that Starks and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat have a match. So they have a contract signing where they have the contract presented Ricky Starks' name versus the Dragon. It didn't say Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. It says the Dragon. So Ricky starts talking after he signs it. He hands it to Mr. Steamboat. And Steamboat, this contract says the Dragon, but I want to talk about me. And then Danielson music hits and he comes out and he says, yeah, I'll take that match, sure.
That Dragon.
So that led to this match. This match was fucking amazing. I mean, honestly, most Bryan Danielson matches are.
Yeah.
He can carry a paper bag to a fucking great match. But Ricky Starks has been on the rise a lot lately. And this is even in a loss, he was amazing. He put in great work in this match. He had great facials, especially when he got. Basically, this is what happened. The main highlights of this match to me were the spot where they were openly taking the hardest fucking shots from the strap to the face as they could, back and forth. Like, I give one, you give one. To the point where at the end of the match, you can see the welts on his back and his face. Danielson chokes him out with the strap. He gets him in his normal, like, not the cattle mutilation, but the other one.
The bell lock.
The bell lock, but he uses the belt to choke him out instead of his arms or his hands. And Ricky's face as he passes out, because he doesn't quit, he just passes out. It's just amazing. I just loved it. I thought it was great. Danielson wins this match. It goes about 16 minutes and 30 seconds. It might have stole the show. It was an amazing match. 5 stars for sure. Great match. Next up, Eddie Kingston and Shibata taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Claudio and Wheeler win this one. This is a good match. It was more of a match that helped build up to something else we're going to talk about later in the show also. It's just more of Claudio twisting the knife on Eddie because they've had a long-standing beef for years since before Claudio went to WWE. Actually, him going to WWE is the reason for the beef. He was supposed to do business with Eddie Kingston back then and did not. He just went straight to WWE, so he never respected him. And I love that was their bill, was going back that far. And basically, it just comes down to respect.
It worked perfect because that's just Eddie Kingston. Like,
Yep.
He
takes wrestling too serious.
Yeah.
That's his character.
His character. He's just keen on respect. That's it. If he feel disrespected, it's personal to him. He don't care if you in the right or not. He don't understand. If he feel disrespected, it's a wrap.
Basically, this one comes down to a Ricola bomb got escaped. Kingston hits a spinning back fist. Another lights bomb gets two. Shibata chokes out Yuta, but as he's choking out Yuta, Claudio hits an uppercut to finish off Kingston, and Shibata can't go make the save at the same time as he's choking out Yuta, and that's why they lost. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that they were really just beaten. It just kind of was circumstance that kind of led to it. Next match was Kenny Omega taking on Konosuke Kateska. This is my favorite wrestler in the world, Kenny Omega, as I've said many times on the show, and I hate watching these matches, though they're necessary because I get to watch my man put in a great bout where he has to lose. He has to put the other guy over to help the storyline down the road. He loses this one to Kateska, who's been in a great role, not only just on his recent matches, but a great role against Kenny Omega. Beats him in a solo match. Beats him in a tag match on All In the week prior. So it gives him impetus to set up his story with Don Callis, talking about how much better he is in Omega and this, that, and the third. Omega's helped play into that. So it's going to be awesome to see what it eventually ends to. Spoiler alert, because I'll probably skip this part when we're recapping the
But
show.
I like that, though, that he pumped. Like I said, it's like when we did my Rushmore with The Rock. I respect guys that willing to put over younger and upcoming talent. Knowing that because I'm so established, me putting over this younger guy will help elevate me, but it'll also help elevate them. Like you said, Brock put over Brock Lesnar. Like,
Yep.
Didn't nobody want to put Brock Lesnar over at that time. But The Rock, like, I'll do it. I'll gladly do it. And do it. And it's in his rise, you know. And now, I can't stand Brock Lesnar now, you know. But back then, it was understandable, though. But yeah, I like that about guys like Kenny Omega, though. He wanted to put them young guys over, though.
So basically, this one came down to Kenny Omega was going for a Super One Wing Angel that got blocked. Takeshita hit a Super Blue Thunder Bomb for a rather near fall. Omega hits a V trigger. He's going to try to go for another One Wing Angel, and Takeshita finds a screwdriver. It gets taken away. But as it gets taken away, he hits a running knee, gets a 2 count, and then hits another running knee, and Omega just can't recover.
Oh. Is that his finisher?
At one point in time, yeah.
I'm about to say, I don't like the fact that Kenny Omega lost to a running knee. Like,
It was kind of V-triggerish, but not as much. Is the best way for me to put it, I guess. No. Anyway, next match, Bullet Club Gold taking on FTR and the Young Bucks. So a 4-on-4 match. This show was heel heavy. Most heels went over.
I like that.
This is a heel heavy show. This match went long with a very good match. Bullet Club Gold has been on a hell of a ride recently too. This is basically came down like this. Austin Gunn hit a superplex into a top rope headbutt, into a top rope elbow, into a 450 for 2. I know I just said a lot right there, but it all happened. With Colton Gunn making a save, all these things happened on him with his brother making a save. Shatter Machine, they hit on Robinson, and he super kicks run about the ring, setting up a BTE trigger from Harwood and Matt Jackson, but he got a 2 count. Jay White comes in and hits a Blade Runner on Wheeler, and Austin Gunn comes in and makes the pin for the victory for Bullet Club Gold. So we'll see where that ties into. Next up is our main event. A lot of people gave this one 5 stars. I didn't see it that way personally. I could see 4 1/4. Your main event was...
you're not Dave Meltzer? You're not giving 6 stars or everything?
No. This was for the international title. Orange Cassidy making his 26th or 27th title defense here, taking on Jon Moxley. The reason people gave this one is because of the fighting heart that Orange Cassidy showed even in defeat. I felt like this was more of a long squash match. Because Orange did not get a lot of offense in here. He was fighting a good fight and kicking out of two, but I felt like Moxley whooped his ass pillar to post in this match.
It wasn't like his match versus Osprey. Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't like that match.
Wasn't back and forth at all.
No.
Moxley whooped him like that.
Like put it this way, the part where Orange goes for the kicks, he really laid in on the kicks for once. But I felt like it was almost the only offense he really got. He was getting destroyed. But the thing with the match was that he didn't quit. He kept getting up from every hard shot. He was super busted open, but he kept getting up and kept coming back and fighting.
But you got to consider
until you couldn't. He took like 3 Death Riders to put him down.
Because he was cutting them promos though when he's talking about that like.
My name is Orange Cassidy, and I have no catchphrase.
Serious and all that. Like his promos lately been a little bit more serious or more serious. Well, okay, it's hard to say that when it's Orange Cassidy, but like
he basically got put down by 2 King Kong lariats, and 3 Death Riders.
It's enough to put you down. Hope you don't kick out of one.
But I'm saying he got.
No, they didn't kick out of one.
I'm just saying. I feel like he did not.
Yeah,
he ain't really get that much offense. I felt like it was more of a squash. A lot of people aren't saying that. I felt like it was more of a squash match. That didn't make it bad. I'm just saying, like, long squash match, but squash match. I felt like he got squashed in this one. I did not feel like he put up as much of a fight as a lot of people are, like, praising on this match, or if they maybe thought he would have going into it.
Right.
I like Moxley kicked his ass. So, but that was the end of All Out. That was the last match of the night. It was a good one. Orange Cassidy got a standing ovation after the match. And also, I'm not sure how much Moxley needed to win it. You know, I could have easily seen Orange putting somebody else over who needed it more than Moxley. But on paper, I would have picked Moxley anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, as soon as you said Mox, you knew he wasn't beating Mox. Like he wasn't. I can agree with that. Somebody could have put over to somebody else.
All right, so now we're in the middle part where we're going to try to condense everything down here. The next couple weeks of shows, you know what I'm saying?
Outside only important stuff.
All right.
So let's start with this Raw.
Go ahead.
This Raw is going all the way to the
4th.
The main thing of this Raw was Gunter. If he wins tonight, he gets the Honky Tonk Man record for 454 days. Long-term Conrad champion. The man standing in his way is one Chad Gable. In the same way you said about the Mox match, this kind of was like that too. Except I think Gable got more off. First of all, Gable starts off going for the knee. After that, Gunner for like the middle part of the match basically just beat his ass. Gunner was doing everything. I will give Gable this. Gable hit this nice superplex, diving headbutt, then proceed to German suplex his ass on the outside. Then had to get his big ass back in the ring. To break the count. Chaos Theory. He goes for an ankle lock. It gets countered, followed by the power bomb. Power bomb, lariat. Gunter retains his title. He breaks the record. Other stuff that happened. Jey Uso opened the show. We all know he's back. Basically, him and Sammy basically like hugged it out. Seth Rollins came back. We talked about medical. Drew McIntyre and Riddle lost to the Viking Raiders. Riddle got put to a table for Ragnarok. Ricochet defeated Shinsuke Nakamura by disqualification after Nakamura struck him with a chair. Rollins made the save. Then Rollins got attacked. Ricochet did the same thing. Shin did this because Rollins refused to give him a rematch. Shannon Baszler defeats Zoe Stark via submission. They fist bumped after the match. Basically start a new tag team. Kel Rodriguez defeated Chelsea Green. Enough said. John Cena was on Miz TV. This match just led to nothing. J.D. Madonna defeats Sami Zayn after interference again. And that was Raw in a nutshell. See how quick that was?
Mm-hmm.
Main thing. I said we just talked about the main thing. Back to me on NXT, right? Next. Is it the right NXT? No, that's the wrong NXT. My bad. This is the right NXT. Okay. Sorry about that. And then I do that, my dumb ass hit refresh. Okay. Sorry about that. Back to it. Start off with your NXT Women's Championship match. Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton basically kicks out a 401k. She wins this with the prettiest moonsault ever. She retains the title in a short match. The match like 5 minutes. 5 minutes long. Post match, Becky Lynch says she's gonna challenge for that title a week away. Creed Brothers won the tag team championship back. Dragunov versus Ora Mensa. This match went like 10 minutes. I don't know how the women's championship match get 5, but you give Ora Mensa 10 minutes of TV time to me versus Dragunov, probably because it is Dragunov. Next we get JC Jane and Thea Hale are backstage. Gigi Dolan interrupts. This sets up a match between Hale and Dolan later. Nathan Frazier versus Duke Hudson, Group B. Frazier gets the win here at 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Tyler Bate versus Dabba-Kato, which is his last match because he got cut. He loses in less than 3 minutes to Tyler Bate.
Did you need to throw that zinging?
Yeah.
I felt like.
After her loss, Tiana James is mad and she starts to fight with Roxanne Perez. Dragon Lee versus Mustafa Ali. This was crazy because Ali wins this match. Eston versus Butch. Butch gets the win here. My fault, it ends in a draw. My fault. Then we get to Gigi Dolan versus Thea Hale. Blair Davenport is some interference. Dolan taps out to the Kimura. Then we get our main event, which is Von Wagner versus Brian Breaker. Breaker basically, they go to the outside. Wagner power bottom through the table. Breaker hits a low blow on the inside finisher with a spear. This match was crazy. Then after the match, he basically beats him with a kendo stick and a chair. Then he grabbed the steps. He put Wagner's head on the other head of the steps. And then he lifted the steps up and like, they cut the camera off, but like he had to like slam like the what's the name steps supposedly slammed on his head. That's in NXT.
All right, so from there, let's get into Dynamite. Fallout from All Out, like I did it. So the opening of the show, John Moxley defending an international title. He takes on AR Fox in a match. King Kong Lariat into the Death Rider to retain for Moxley. Post-match, Darby Allin comes down to the ring to check on AR Fox. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus go out to Nick Wayne backstage. Cage didn't know Wayne's father was a wrestler until he looked it up. He said, and your father's even worse than he thought.
Oh my God.
If he wants a real mentor, maybe you should look at a champion such as himself. He said, also say hi to your mom for me.
Why you gotta keep taking shots at people's mamas, man?
Because that's how he is. And
Leave people's mamas alone.
He's a terrible father himself. TBS title, Chris Statlander taking on one of my faves, Emi Sakura, in a hard-hitting match to go 4 minutes. Emi don't pull no punches. This match is on Wednesday. She loses to a Wednesday Night Fever for the victory. But love me, Emi Sakura. Love when she gets to wrestle on TV. Next up, Roger Strong has a sit-down interview where he shows highlights from his life and talks about how he had terrible parents. Like one was like an alcoholic, and I forgot what the problem was with the other one. But basically, all he ever really cared about was wrestling. So that's what he did growing up, and wrestling helped save him. Adam Cole knew that, and that's why. So also let me state this: they started a eliminator tournament to decide who's going to be number one contender to take on MJF at Grand Slam, which is 3 weeks away from this moment where we're at now, or 2 weeks from this episode actually. They just happened this week. We'll talk about that in this episode anyway. So in the tournament, Roger Strong, who he has beef with right now because of the MJF thing, Samoa Joe, who's in it, who he just recently started the beef with. There's some other members of it. We'll get to that as we go on here in the show. The Le Sex Gods taking on Aussie Open. Le Sex Gods being Jericho. Yeah, and they're on bad terms with each other recently. But they win this match against Aussie Open, which is weird. Aussie Open's one of the best tag teams out there. Ended with Fletcher hits a brain bust on Jericho for a 2 count. Back up, Jericho finishes off with the Judas effect for a victory. 11 minutes and 20 seconds. But they had a lot of moments during the match where they just weren't kind of clicking type of deal, you know what I'm saying? Post-match, Jericho tried to apologize for Sammy for that, and they end up shoving each other back and forth before Sammy walks off. Next up, they show recaps from the Ricky Starks strap match. From there, here we go. Well, coming up in a 1 second. But they bragged about, Canuck Success was bragging about his win, Kenny Omega. Then they said they're going to reveal who the next target is the next week. Spoiler alert, in case I forget to talk about it when we get there, it's Kota Ibushi.
I figured that.
Going after everything Omega loves.
Omega loves, yeah. That's
Amazing.
his boy, yeah.
Did it by unveiling another fucking artwork.
Of course he does.
Basically, the artwork is Konosuke looks like he's about to stab a knife into Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi's looking up, and Don Callis is on the side cackling and pointing. It's weird.
Whoever did the artwork need to get paid, but this artwork be on point. I ain't gonna lie.
Here's MGF for a chat. He basically comes out and talks about how he used to live right here in Indiana during his time in the independent circuit. He's basically pandering to the crowd, being face MJF. So
Being a scumbag.
Then he felt like one person needs to be taught a lesson. Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe comes out and interrupts. MJF says, "You must be confused. My entrance music for ice cream truck music. Is that why you came to the ring?" Is what he asked him. And Joe is basically, Joe keeps referring to him as kid and says, "Do we have a problem? What's the deal? Like, why'd you call me here?" So then MJF tries to go off on him, tried to, rip into him with some insults like the ice cream truck line and stuff like that. Samoa Joe responds to that and says, "The last time I was involved with the ice cream truck, I was busy being the biggest star on the other company's network. So tell me once again, why are we here, kid?" Love me, Joe. I love this.
Going back to the NXT when he was.
I love this promo down.
But I remember that too, because that's when, you know what's ironic about that? About that whole thing?
Good.
That's when he was feuding with, guess who? Adam Cole, baby. That whole thing happened. I'm like, how time been? Like, he choked out Adam Cole in the parking lot on NXT and got himself suspended indefinitely. He's supposed to be like some kind of like, not like a GM.
So that was during the Cole feud. I thought for some reason I thought it was during when he was facing Nakamura.
No, it was during the Cole feud.
Okay.
It was during Adam Cole, because William Regal brought him back as like a what's the name, and he choked first night.
Yeah, I remember he came back as a GM.
He choked out.
We
Adam
talked
Cole
about that.
First night back.
We talked about that. We talked about that a couple years ago. I remember. I remember that now.
All time together with MJF, Adam Cole, and Samoa Joe. It just all what's that.
Joe isn't impressed. MJF has a story. We hear about his trial with WWE and how William Regal blew him off. MJF sent him back. Then MJF sent him back to NXT where he belonged. And if Joe doesn't watch it, he'll be there next. That night, MJF got to be security guard on WWE TV, and Joe met him. Then Joe shoved him in the back into a brick wall and laughed. Well, now MJF isn't a kid anymore because now he's the world champion and the best wrestler in the world today. So now MJF is trying to kill Joe. It's basically what he says.
Yeah.
Joe has a smirk, and he says he think MJF was a kid that night, just a little bitch. That earned Joe a slap. Joe slapped him back, basically, and said he'll be in that tournament and I'll meet you at Grand Slam. Joe kicked him with a low blow, or MJF tried to kick him with a low blow. Then Joe gets a low blow of his own. The fight is on. Adam Cole comes out to break it up. Right as he's about to do a muscle buster on MJF and the messed up neck. So we'll see what happens. Good showdown promo off here, though, between the two. Next up was one of those Dynamite Grand Slam tournament matches. Roderick Strong taking on Trent Beretta. Obviously, with his involvement with Adam Cole and everything, Roderick Strong won this one. Won in about 11 minutes, hit the end of Heartache to finish off Trent. Hangman Page comes out for a chat, said he donated his money to the Teachers of Chicago after winning the Battle Royal that was on 0 Hour. Swerve Strickland comes out and basically says he wants to steal his spot. He says Swerve is a glorified mascot for AEW. When you first started here, you had all this heart and fire, and they kept putting you in positions to win, and you eventually became a world champion. But now what do? He says basically, I want your spot. since you don't see the one that I wanted. That's basically what he said. He said, my goal is to become AEW's first black world champion. So we'll see where that goes. Next up, our main event of the evening. Darby Allin taking on Nick Wayne, #1 contendership match for the Grand Slam tournament. Pretty good match. Darby Allin goes over for the victory here. But Nick Wayne put up a good fight, and they made a promise to each other before the match, like, don't pull any punches, like, you know what I'm saying, go at me like I will go at you for what's on the line here and everything. It came down to Allin hits a crossbody into a crucifix, into a code red for 2. Allin ties up the arms and stomps at his head for the submission at 11 minutes 55 seconds. So it was a pretty good main event between the two. We'll see what happens with Nick Wayne, if he's going to end up turning heel or not. You did 2 back-to-back, I'll do 2 back-to-back. Next up, AEW Rampage. Continuing on for the event we were just talking about, Grand Slam #1 contender tournament, first round. Jay Lethal taking on Penta El Zero Miedo. Penta wins this one after lethal injection is countered into a backstabber. Penta snaps the arm. We had a fear factor for the victory. Sammy comes out for a promo. Interrupts Jericho, who's talking at the commentary desk. They know that they've been getting on each other's nerves recently. Now they want to hit each other in the face and decide that they're going to do that at Grand Slam. Have a one-on-one match between the two finally. Next match, The Bunny, Anna Jay. No AS anymore. I knew you didn't like that, so I'd let you know. And Taya Valkyrie taking on Hikaru Shida, Sky Blue, and Britt Baker. The faces win this one. Britt Baker hits a lockjaw for the tap at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Post-match, Baker and Shida argue, but then they seem to be cool.
Yeah, that might turn one of them. I think that might turn to Sheeta turn to heel.
I don't know. They teased it for months. Remember, they thought she was going to join Outcast, so I can kind of see it, but let's see if they have a storyline attached to it. Your next match is Young Bucks taking on Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Over glorified squash, and that's only because it went 5 minutes. BT Trigger finishes off Matt Menard for the victory. Mike Santana comes out and cuts a promo. He's no longer Santana. It's Mike Santana. It's for a reason, though. Because he's no longer tag teaming with Ortiz. They have real life beef, and now they're going to have real life beef in the ring because that feud is carrying the TV.
Oh.
So he's basically just coming out.
Oh, be careful with that now.
He's basically coming out. People are asking questions and him having to answer it. You know what I'm saying? But he said he's here to be the guy, so deal with it. So he's going solo.
I see where he's going with it. Just be careful with real life beef.
We'll see where that goes.
That's all I say. That's just my warning. Just be careful with it.
Our main event of tonight is the last Grand Slam first round. Grand Slam #1 contenders tournament's first round match. Jeff Hardy taking on Samoa Joe. I felt like Joe won this match. As Hardy trying to get the switch of fate, he got pulled into a coquina clutch for the victory after 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I felt like he's wanted to put him in this coquina clutch since 2011 in Victory Road. The whole time I was watching the match, I felt like he's beating his ass for that. Now, I understand that was 12 years ago. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Joe was
like, if I can get my payback for this shit.
Joe was probably backstage for that moment. So I felt like I had to mention that. That's the end of Rampage, by the way. Go ahead. I felt like he was choking him out for
that. Yeah, that built up anger.
Just give me a call for some money at night, motherfucker.
For all those guys back here, Sting is here.
He is there. I forgot Sting is there. Damn, that's crazy.
He's like, I know. We're like, I know. They're like, I know. What is part of it? He said, I know. I'm like, even.
Oh, God.
All right, get us back down. I gotta recover. Oh my god, that's one of the funniest moments ever. But this thing saying, "I know."
That shit was funny, man. Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
All right. All right. It's SmackDown. It's all stemming from the bloodline. Judgment Day. The balance of power is shifting. The bloodline is no longer the dominant faction in WWE right now. You can technically say it is. Judgment Day. They have all to go. Anyway, this thing was just built on Jimmy trying to get Grace back in the bloodline. He went as far to wear the old bloodline t-shirt and telling Paul Heyman he back in the bloodline. Heyman was like, no, you're not in until Reigns says you in. He said, take care of AJ Styles and then work on repairing your relationship with Reigns. Then later on that night, Heyman walks up past AJ Styles. He said something to him. AJ Styles basically grabbed him. And then that's when Jim basically just blindsided him from behind. This lead to a match between them. And then that's the part that was funny about it. First of all, Paul Heyman went to Adam Pearce saying like, okay, first of all, you need to do something about him putting his hands on me, okay? I am the special counsel to the WWE champion. Also, I need to know who is being traded here on Raw in exchange for Jay. For Jay. Pearce don't tell him nothing. And then we get to, now this is where we might get something. LA Knight comes into the room to request a match against Miz. He introduced himself to Heyman. Heyman said, I'm a fan of you. He said, but next time, not when you hear me talking to somebody. And Knight got right in his face. Like, just stared him down. So, might be teasing something with him. Probably make his way up there and probably get a shot at Roman. He ain't gonna win. This is the funniest part, though. So, he goes backstage, and he put in the OC back, and he's like, well, where was y'all at when I was getting my ass whooped by Dale? So he's like, Carlos was like, first of all, you told us not to interfere with the bloodline, so we're just doing what you told. He's like, okay, well, I'm your friend. You are supposed to have my back, but okay, why don't you stay back here when I go and face him tonight in the main event? So he just basically got funny, just like, I'm pretty that win with Me Chan was the only one that he bought with him. He basically just told the boys to stay put.
I mean, what do they do on TV anyway?
I don't know.
He basically got them back to get a free paycheck.
Oh, he did.
And essentially, they're basically, what I'm about to say is the basic explanation of any independent contractor that's a wrestler. They're just mercenaries for hire, bro. If New Japan offers them more money after they get released from here, which I wouldn't have been surprised if they were part of these recent releases, they're going to go to New Japan and get that dough. And then somebody over here like AEW, like, hey, come have a thing with the Elite for 3 weeks. So they'll come take that money. Oh, WWE's calling again. We're going to go back. Like, they just bounce around to wherever the money's coming. They'll do Impact. They don't care. That's what I say. They're mercenaries for hire. Not saying it's a bad thing, but that's basically what they're doing. They're just collecting paychecks.
Hey. To each his own. I can't knock.
I can't hate it. I'm not hating. I'm just making an observation.
Yeah,
that's all.
I can't hate him for it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Go ahead, bro.
He basically wins the match at the Phenomenal Forearm. Styles became aggressive in his match. Uso basically turned the tide with some help from Solo. Basically, they drove Styles into the steps. Solo gets back into the ringside. Styles take advantage of some friction between Uso and Solo, and he gets the win. After the match, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, they come out and attack AJ Styles, and then they toss him into the ring to Solo, and Solo basically with some more spike. I don't know if, like, they try to tease a little alliance, you know, but try to break the alliance up from the inside, because Dominic has this thing, for some reason, he's trying to recruit people to Judgment Day. He's going on a recruitment binge. He's trying to recruit people. Next, Shotzi and Charlotte Flair defeated Damage Control. Shotzi pinned Bayley. Found distraction with from Asuka. This leads to Asuka and Io Sky having a face-off. This is going to lead to a spoiler alert title match between them down the line. LA Knight defeated Austin Theory by hitting the BFT. Judgment Day defeat Brawling Brutes after Balor hit Holland with the coup de grace. Then Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits come out there and go face-to-face with Judgment Day. And basically, that was the end of your SmackDown. The SmackDown literally was predicated on, like, the whole thing with the bloodline.
I mean, it usually is.
Yeah, but this one, this one was heavily, like, predicated on that, so.
All right, back at AEW action. It's time for Collision. You know what's great about this Collision?
We were there.
We was in the house. This one coming from Cleveland. Tournament starts off with the night starts off with John Moxley defending the international title, open challenge mode, I guess, well, without saying it. Taking on Action Andretti. Action Andretti gets beaten this one. I did put up more of a fight than I felt like he probably should have against John Moxley, but
John Moxley was getting booed the hell out of
yeah, he took a rear naked choke.
Hey, one thing to say about it, we don't care if you Hill or not. If you Cleveland or you Ohio, we ride with you.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think Action seen it too. He like, hold on. Okay, well, I'm going to start acting Hill here then. All of a sudden. I think Black pulled combat. I don't know. Because, see, Danielson turning face.
Yeah.
Moxley turning face. I'm not sure about
The other two, I think, might stay heel.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Action Andretti gets choked out by a rear naked choke. Moxley retains the title in 11 minutes and 7 seconds. Next up, we get a video from Roger.
That was longer than anticipated.
Roger Strong flanked by the Kingdom on his history with Adam Cole. You see a bunch of photos of them over the years and clips of their time in Ring of Honor.
Strong, like
Strong,
he's a dejected girlfriend.
Strong says he's still here for Cole. Cole's the one who's changed, but he's going to win the world. He's going to win the tournament and the world title.
Okay.
Next match, Chris Statlander taking on Robin Renegade. This is basically a squash match. Another match that should have probably been shorter than it was.
Yeah, they gave them some.
Because of Robin Renegade's sister being at ringside and kind of doing their version of twin magic type of deal a little bit, but her interfering in the match. Either way, O'Connor Roll with the bridge retains the title for wrestling's favorite alien.
My favorite alien too.
Post match, guess who makes a return?
Shit.
A storm is coming. Jade Cargill. In setting up for her final match the next week on Rampage, where she will get her rematch for the TBS Championship against Statlander. She comes out the ring and beats her down. So we'll see what happens.
Everybody knew. Wasn't nobody surprised by that.
Ruby Soho isn't happy to hear that Tony Storm's forgotten how she cost Soho the TBS title. Saraya tries to calm things down and promise that she'll retain her championship against her at Grand Slam. We get a sit-down interview with Eddie Case and Claudio Castagnoli, once again going over their history about basically Claudio Castagnoli not doing business with him while he was still in the Indies. And he's pissed off about it. Claudio's like, I don't think nothing of you. I don't respect you. You're beneath me. He said, I don't think you deserve this damn match, to be honest with you. But this damn feud we got between us is about to come to an end. He said they basically decided we're going to go title versus title. He said, screw the title. I want your handshake I should have got years ago after winning this match. That's what Eddie says. So that's the evidence of this feud. Next up, Bullet Club Gold taking on Gravity, Aerostar, and DLSD Inframundo. Basically, Drago used to be in Lucha Underground or like Impact, something like that.
Texas Blanchard. I think they're divorced.
That's a different guy.
Oh, who you say?
That's Draga.
Oh, who you say?
Drago.
Oh, okay.
Like a dragon, but in Spanish without the N on the end.
Oh, okay.
I know you're talking. You're talking Daga. Daga.
Okay.
That's what she was married to.
That's what I thought you said. Was that's wearing that goddamn LED Mustafa Ali looking shit?
No. That was Aerostar.
Okay.
He was the one that had the dragon face mask.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who?
Remember, we couldn't figure out what the fuck it was?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
I'm about to say, what the fuck are you wearing like you got a whole LED?
And that's when I was trying to explain to you about gravity and his slow walking.
Yeah.
I told you he did against Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe smacked the piss out of his mouth. That shit was funny to the motherfucker, man. When he did this, and I was dying, bro.
Like, see how slowly walk? I'm like, oh, God.
So it was funny,
that
bro.
Shit to the T with that gravity.
He was Drago in Triple I. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, this is basically a squash match. Bullet Club Gold wins. Reverse DDT lays out DLSD Inframundo. 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Another match that didn't seem like it was 6 minutes. That match seemed longer than it was.
Did.
Dark Order going back to their original promos. My bad. Dark Order going back to the original promos they used to cut when AEW first started, when they seemed like more like a cult.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I do like that. I like them going back to that since they're kind of going back heel now. So we'll see where that goes. Billy Gunn and the Acclaim announced they're on their world tour. And then the next stop will be Grand Slam. Ray Phoenix took on Angelico. They pulled that name out the closet. When was the last time you seen Angelico?
Impact.
Oh, you actually had the time. I was being sarcastic.
No, I watched it on a video and they talking about he got put in the shove it zone. So that's how bad he was at Impact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you put in the shove it zone. You're not that good at all.
The rolling cutter for a 2 followed by the Black
He did with
Fire
Gary
driver.
Bischoff.
The Black Fire driver is basically Rikishi's power driver he used to use back in the day that Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix does. So that's basically what that is. To get the victory, 4 minutes 50 seconds. Another match that didn't seem like it was that short. That seemed a lot longer than that. FTR announced that they're gonna have an open challenge for the tag team titles. They ended up taking on Bear Country, who's now Iron Savages.
Yeah.
A lot of people complained about that match. I don't know why. Just maybe because I think they gave them a little more than they thought they should get in that match. It should have been another one of these matches that seemed like, when you read back, longer than it really was. Squash match, you know what I'm saying? It didn't end up being that. FTR did end up winning the match. It just went like 11 minutes, and that was probably 7 minutes too long. Anyway, moving on from there, grandstand, the semifinals. Roger Strong taking on Darby Allin. I thought this was a great match. I thought this match actually was better than the main event that we got with Samoa Joe. But either way, you knew who was going to win this match. Darby Allin hits a coffin drop. He tried to hit a coffin drop, but he falls into the raised knees and then ends up falling to the end of Heartache by Roger Strong, finishing off Darby Allin 14 minutes.
Darby Allin got his ass whooped before the match even started.
Yeah, he did. And then for me,
took him out.
for me, I feel like Roddy, man, he's underrated as fuck.
Yeah.
His work he's doing, being a salty bitch about this whole situation with MJF, is awesome and hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But his in-ring is awesome, and it always has been. He's hard-hitting as fuck. I just feel like he goes places, and he's always like the second to this guy. He's never just the guy.
He was
The second to this guy. Exactly. He's never just the guy.
The guy, yeah.
I would like to see him be the guy at one point.
Yeah, that man works.
He has the arsenal to do it.
He do.
So,
And also now, we probably make an argument. We probably say he's probably the best cardio wrestler in all of professional wrestling. Probably you could say probably with Roger Strong.
yeah, I
And
like,
that man can pull a backbreaker out of anywhere.
yeah, he's the backbreaker king. He is the backbreaker king right now. Next up,
One good thing about that too was that when all the fans we was all chanting, we saying Adam left, he was like super salty about it.
Powerhouse Hobbs talks about how he lost to Miro, and he says next Book of Hobbs chapter, everyone will fall. Keith Lee has his own advice for people to run. That's basically a tribute to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
They have a video of the Righteous, who kind of remind me of Bray Wyatt Zealots or the Wyatt family Zealots, the way they come out with the butch guy in the suit who looks like Wyatt, and the other guy kind of acts like how Wyatt does, the smaller, skinnier guy with the dreads, who seems like more of the weirdo, who snaps to the beat as they come down to the ring. I like their look. I'm not talking shit when I say it. They come off as influenced by Wyatt family a little bit, except the wearing all white part. So that should be interesting. See where that goes. Daniel Bryan comes down to the ring for a chat. He basically tells us that he told his daughter when she turned 7 years old, she's going to start winding down his career. Guess what happens next year?
She turned 7.
So he's decided now it's time to start having all those dream matches that he wanted to have. One he had to skip out on last year was against
Zack Sabre Jr.
So he announced that
He
wanted.
thought it better damn technical wrestler.
He said, I want to have this match with him to see who really is the best damn technical wrestler in the world. Calls him out for Wrestle Dream, which will be in Seattle of his home state, Washington, October 1st. So next weekend? Next Sunday, I believe?
I want to say so. Today.
Yeah, today's the 23rd, so next Sunday.
Yeah,
So next Sunday. So that should be interesting. And also, that makes 3 pay-per-views in the expanse of about 6 weeks for AEW.
Yeah.
That's a lot. With the rumor of them going to 12, It's like, are they testing the water or what? And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
As long as they space it out how they normally do, because they pay-per-views usually could be held on Wednesdays, so. That's as long as they stick it like that, I'm cool.
For the mini majors. And what I call mini majors are Fight Forever.
Yeah.
Fight for the Fall.
Make them pay-per-views.
Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, make those pay-per-views, you know. Make them pay-per-views and then stick to your big four.
But I kind of liked it better when they did the 6, and then you did little micro major infractions like when you're going like Forbidden Doors with New Japan. Okay, that's one thing. But like I liked the Battle of the Belts because those are like the Clash of the Champions that WCW used to do back in the day. That's like a version of that, a mini big, like we were just talking about, like with Fight for the Fallen or Fighter Fest. But I think they have the roster and the talent to be able to handle going to 12. I just like it. I think it's more edible the way they're doing it now.
I like the way they're doing it now.
Adding more wrestling to my docket doesn't help us.
I mean, I just like the way they're doing it now. I don't want them to let WWE stick to their pay-per-view every month.
Yeah.
Y'all stick to what y'all doing. Cause I like the fact that like I don't have to worry about watching 2 pay-per-views every month. Cause now I'm not worried about watching the AEW one, and they're gonna be either right behind each other or one gonna be on Saturday because they do theirs on Saturday, so AEW probably do theirs on Sunday. So it's like just keep doing what y'all doing. And then the many pay-per-views that you have, you can make them actual pay-per-views because you have the talent. The Arthur Ashley, make that a pay-per-view. Make that one. Yeah, make that a pay-per-view. You know, man, what's the other one the one what they like a St. Patrick's Day or something like that. Make that like a specialty pay-per-view. You know, like stuff like that. You know, but they gotta fall on like a Wednesday for it to work though. You know, but yeah, make like Fire Fest. Make them pay-per-views though. And them pay-per-views you could stand to Dynamite and Rampage. So like you can do a 3-hour pay-per-view, but you can do it like in 2 days though, you know.
Like to do a Grand Slam.
Yeah, do it in like 2 days, you know.
Actually, you can do a 4-hour pay-per-view that way because then it'd be a 2-hour Dynamite and a 2-hour Rampage because they'll extend Rampage like they did this week for Grand Slam.
Yeah.
But before the end of this conversation he was having with the crowd, he ends up being coerced and jumped by Big Bill and Ricky Starks, which leaves John Moxley to come out to make the save, who also catches the beatdown, surprisingly. And they're both left laying in the ring as Big Bill and Starks are left standing tall. Also, Starks chokes out Dan Bryan with his shirt as payback for getting choked out with that strap.
He's gonna give him the shirt. Actually, he's gonna ask him to what's the name. He gave him the shirt like he wanted him to join. Like,
yeah, that's he choked him out with the same shirt. He offered him to join BCC. Or BCC, I should say. Anyway, your main event, Samoa Joe taking on Penta Zero Miedo. Joe wins this match. It was a good match. Went about 15 minutes. Loved the nope spot where Penta set up a table on the outside against the barricade to put Joe through it. Joe did his nope walk away through it as Penta flew through it. Thought that was hilarious. Eventually,
the best he just does this shit like off key. Like he just walks away like, hold on, man. You ain't about to let me throw myself through the table.
Eventually, him throwing himself through the table led to the Coquina Clutch finish.
Yeah.
Finish for Joe. 14 minutes, 58 seconds. Joe moves on to the final against Roderick Strong. And we get that final on the next Dynamites.
Against Roddy.
On you, sir.
Alright. Again, we're going to do with the most important stuff. It starts off with Raquel Rodriguez gets her rematch against Rhea Ripley because, of course, Dominic had to interject and help his mommy retain the championship. We get to the main event. Rhea Ripley retains the belt after hitting a riptide. This is the one time where actually Rhea was actually outmatching the match. Like Rodriguez was in charge for most of the match, bunch of power moves. But when the ref gets distracted, Nia Jax makes her return, hits Rodriguez with a Samoa drop outside the ring. This allowed Ripley to hit the riptide. Then she immediately tells Rhea Ripley hit a bonsai drop on her to end the show. So what else happened? Judgment Day defeated Kevin Owens and Jey Uso after the coup de grace. This is Kevin Owens interrupted Jey Uso opening the show. He still basically, it's funny to me. Kevin Owens was the one guy who you can never trust. as a partner. You know, like you could never trust him. Now he's the one telling Jey Uso, man, you gotta earn the trust back from everybody in the locker room because of what you did with the bloodline. Finn told on he had to prove back to recruit and feel like you ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. Why don't you join Judgment Day? You know. You know. Basically, that's what it is. And then of course they had miscommunication after Owen hit. Uso hit Owen with a super kick, and then after that, Owen blew up in the match and told him to join Judgment Day as his new bloodline, basically. The Miz defeated Akira Tozawa, so the Miz finally got a win. It's a rematch against the guy that beat him, like, what's his name? Gunther was celebrating his record. Chad Gable crashed that because he demanded a rematch, and this part I did mention. For the last Raw, after he lost, they showed a shot to his kids was crying that he lost.
Who?
Gable kid. So he basically, Gunther called him a great athlete, but a disgusting father. It led to a brawl between them, which led to the rest of Imperial, which led to Otis and Tommaso Ciampa even out the odds. Drew McIntyre defeated Xavier Woods with a Claymore. He also had a confrontation with Jey Uso. This leads to a match between them next week. Cody Rhodes runs off Dominic Mysterio and JD. Shayna Baszler defeat Chelsea Green. Piper Niven tried to help Chelsea Green, but Zoe Starr makes the save. Seth Rollins calls out Shinsuke Nakamura for a world title match, but for the second week, Nakamura says no, and he just beats up Ricochet again. By the way, who Seth Rollins said Ricochet, he on the bump, he said Ricochet somebody he would love to defend the title against. He said Ricochet deserves it. He felt he worked his ass off. He said he would love to have Ricochet come at him and defend for that title. You hear that? That would be a good ass match too. Chad Gable, Otis Tommaso Ciampa defeated Imperium after Gable locked Giovanni Vinci in an ankle lock. Ciampa had Gunter in a Sicilian scratch, which forced while he had him in that scratch, he basically was watching Vinci tap out to Gable on the ankle lock, so he basically watched like his own what's the name submit. That was the end of that Raw. Go to NXT. Excuse me. Next we get Wesley versus Eagle Dragunov. The winner of this match gets your boy Mello Don't Miss and No Mercy. Great back and forth match. Lead with a jumping kick, but Dragunov hits him with a forearm, back of the head, torpedo. He gets the win at 13 minutes, so you get them two again for the title. We get Breaker crushing Wagner's head with the steps. They said Wagner moved away at the last second, but still got hit hard enough to suffer a minor skull fracture. Yeah. We don't like how do you... no, you think the same thing I'm thinking.
How do you get a skull fracture minorly, number one? Number two, if you moved out of the fucking way, how did you get that?
I guess they said, I don't know.
And when did they do minor skull fractures?
Yeah.
A skull fracture is a skull fracture. Like, oh, well, it's cracked small, so it's not that bad. Your skull is still fractured, fucker.
I don't know. Maybe he moved his head last minute and still got caught with it or something. Probably that's what they probably did. Cause when they was doing the what's the name, they had like the cut on his what's the name. Like he had his head wrapped. He was bleeding. They had Shawn Michaels walking him to the back. And what's that man? They put this shit out here. Out here. Like okay. Then we get Baron Corbin who was here. He basically thought it was awesome what he did.
Not to mention, so that's a comebackable in wrestling now. Skull fractures. We can just come back from skull fractures.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah.
Spinal stenosis is ending motherfuckers' careers, but we're gonna say we can come back from a fucking skull fracture. I digress.
Hey, I don't know. Your thought just as good as mine. I don't know how you can come back from a minor skull. But everybody probably said minor. I don't know. But there's the thing, Corbin said that Wagner has a history of skull issues. Breaker took advantage of that, and he said he need to come out here right now. Corbin said he's gonna lay. Corbin said he's gonna lay into it.
Wait, hold on. The explanation, bro. A history of skull issue? What do you mean? Once you have one, isn't that done? Like any aspect that would have led to this in your life is done. You don't continue to fucking
Man,
wrestle.
I don't know how you have like history of skull fractures. Like
Who has multiple
Man
limbs?
ain't meant to say concussion or something, or man ain't meant to say head injury, but he said skull fracture or something.
All right.
I think it
I'm
head
sorry.
injury.
I,
But no,
I couldn't let that one slide.
I think he wanted to say head injury, but he said skull fracture though. I'm lost on that one. I'm just as lost as you is. Basically, Corbin said he loved it. He said it was awesome. They celebrate, but Brady said, I didn't do it to make you happy. I did it about ending Wagner's career, and I love doing it. So basically, he's just like badass. What's the name? And he basically challenged to a fight at No Mercy. Breaker, this why like Breaker's like, I want you to do this. He was like, I want you to spend the next 3 weeks with your family. That's what he basically told him. Like, spend the next 3 weeks with your family.
You talking about Corbin?
Yep. Spend the next 3 weeks with your family. Cause what'll probably happen to him, I probably might do to you. He's like full on like heel, beard, everything, black hair, black trunks. Man, yeah, he's like Scott Hall stuff with what's the name? Not Scott Hall, Scott Steiner stuff with.
When I get to Dynamite, we have a moment where MJF honored his uncle.
Next we get Charlie Dempsey, Damon Kemp, your boy Gabagulak
Gabagool.
versus Josh Briggs, Brooks Jensen, and Miles Bourne. Yeah. Kemp hits a rock bottom into a net breaker for the win. So your boy Gabagulak gets a win. He wasn't part of the decision, but still gets a win.
That's better than nothing, huh?
Andre Chase said he won't do cuss in the final day of hell, but she blocked him. So, I guess like phone call wise, like I guess she blocked him. They made fun of Hell for sounding like a child, so she beats them up basically. She said she's tired of looking like this, so they go shopping. You get Lila Valkyrie versus Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke's last match. She loses in 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Sorry. I'm sorry. Dana Brooke is the one person that probably deserves her release. Okay? Look, no, hear me out. Because she could get over WWE. Remember I told you when she first came on NXT, she had like no crowd reaction? None. She had none. Like the fans didn't cheer, they didn't boo. They were just there like,
I'm just laughing.
they were just like,
I'm just laughing how you keep shitting on Dana.
I'm not. I'm not. But that's the reaction. Like, it's like they counted as like, she got no crowd reaction. It was just stale. She was like that filler match. She did that go to the bathroom moment on NXT when she debuted. It was just like,
It feels like she's been in the company for 10 years. I don't think she has, but it felt like it, I guess. I don't know.
she's just uninterested. And it sucks. Like, she doing this, it sucks.
When she was Charlotte's number 2, when she was the
better.
most interesting.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
Yeah. Next, Dominic run. This is the part that's funny. Dominic runs into Hayes, and he brags about the fact that they're both champions. He's like, champion to champion. And Hayes like, yeah. But y'all, he like, but I get to go out here and handpick my opponent. Like, for what's the name? Hayes was like, okay then. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He's like, why the fuck you talking to me? That's how he looked at him. Like, why the fuck you talking to me? Get the fuck away from me. Next we get Tyler Bate versus Exxon. This is the Global Heritage Invitational. This is the Group A matchup. Tyler Driver 97. Tyler Bate gets the win at 10 minutes. 10 minutes. This leads to, we got a great match. This leads to Butch versus Tyler Bate. Remember their history they had on NXT. Go right back to it. We get Schism, who was here. Joe Gacy and just Ava. Ava said the tree is dying. Because, you know, really young veterans, they're no longer there. So, they have no members right now. Now. Creed Brother versus Malik Blade, Idris and Norfay. Creed Brother gets to win at 3 minutes. Fast-paced match for 3 minutes. Becky Lynch, Laura Valkyrie, she said she wants Becky to win. Roxanne Perez talked about the women breakout tournament can mean. But Letra Lopez, your girl, you talking about Lola Vice earlier, come in, they talk trash. No Mercy rundown. Nathan Fraser versus Akira Tozawa. Guess how long it took for Kirsten Cesaro to lose this match?
30 seconds.
Nah, 2 minutes and 30.
I was off by 2.
He got a snap German suplex and a mental drop kick and a dive, but that was it. Next, Ali is happy being the number 1 contender for the title. He don't care about a fast count. Gigi Jolin jumped Blair Davenport. Then we get our main event. It's Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Lynch is challenging for the NXT Women's Championship. Great match. Stratton starts off hot. Lynch try to go for a disarmer. To the end of this match, nice back and forth. Stratton hits a sit-down power bomb. Lynch with the prettiest ever moonsault. Lynch with a manhandle slam. She gets the pin. This the best that Stratton looked. She was confident in there, maybe because she's going to get to start like Becky Lynch, probably. But I feel like this is Stratton's launch pad. Like, she ain't the champion, but I feel like this could be like her ascension. Like, this is where they could probably make her the big star, like on NXT to carry for the women. You know, she's the champion.
Well, here's my thing.
And also, too, Lynch is not going to be the champion long term.
So why didn't they like Kevin Owens, John Cena this thing and put Stratton over to make a new star?
Because I think the fact that, like, I think we said it on the couple episodes, like, we all talk about it, like, Becky Lynch, I think, is winding down her. She's getting to the point where she's not going to do this no more. I think they want to use her to push off some of the women in NXT, like, think of some of the matches, her versus Roxanne Perez, Laura Valkyrie, like, them going to be some fire matches that she can have and probably elevate some of that young talent up, you know. She came through coming up. They didn't really have a talent when it was her, Sasha. Technically, she was the one you can say that kind of got elevated because she was with Sasha. Then she was with she was Charlotte first, then Sasha.
I'm not sure.
I'm thinking, but you know how like she got elevated up, so she kind of want to do the same thing. Also, this makes her a Grand Slam champion. So, finally, so that's basically what it is. And then she celebrates the end of the show. So that was the end of NXT. Congratulations to Becky, Grand Slam champion.
All right, let's start running through these a little faster.
So that's for like 3 months and then drop it.
And the next Dynamite, which is the Dynamite the week before Grand Slam. Last week's Dynamite opened with international title match as Big Bill takes on Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley took a rough beating in this one from Bill, but wins the match with the triangle choke.
Did he bleed? He ain't been bleeding for the last like 3 shows.
Yes, he did bleed in this match. Big Bill got some of that blood on his boots because then on Collision, later in the week on Saturday, he wore those same boots with the blood on it in a match against Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson.
I love what they did with him. Man, shout out to him, bro. He came back from the seizure and everything, man. I'm so happy. Like, he's a big man that actually know how to work. Like, which is rare.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm glad he dropped that dead weight in Enzo Amore.
A triangle choke puts Big Bill down. Taps out 11 minutes, 18 seconds. Post-match starts to Bill keep up a beat down, but Claudio Castagnoli comes out to make the save. Adam Cole interrupts Roger Strong and the Kingdom, warning Strong that what might happen to his neck. Strong finds it interesting that now Cole cares about his neck. He'll show Cole instead. Don Callis, the part I told you about, they're going to take on Kota Ibushi next. That's what happens here. Bryan Danielson comes out, issues a tag match to Ricky Starks and Big Bill on Collision. Kingston and Ray Phoenix, who are challenged to Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli next week, come up. They start to do a pull apart, but the whole time, Claudio and Kingston are just staring at each other while everybody else is fighting around them. So that was awesome visual to see. Next up, Toni Storm versus Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida. The winner of this match has a women's title shot next week against Saraya. Toni Storm ends up winning this match. Shida goes for a roll-up for 2 before hitting the katana on Nyla Rose. Baker stops Shida, but Storm is back up with a roll-up to finish off Baker. 8 minutes and 39 seconds. Saraya talked about how much things have changed in the last year. Now she's ready to beat up Toni Storm. Also, don't know if you knew, the last Grand Slam is where she made her debut. Whole year later, she's defending the Women's Championship at it, so shout out to her. Jericho and Sammy Guevara come on, have a chat. Talk about how they're going to face each other next week and talking about their story. Jericho talked about seeing Guevara at the NWA's 70th anniversary show and knowing he had to be in AEW. Basically talk about their history between each other and stuff like that. That's basically all I have to say. Now, here's the moment I said that he gave his dedication, not so many words, to his uncle. Last week, MJF was too banged up to travel, but he'll be at Grand Slam. MJF loves the idea of a week off, but he wanted to see Roger Strong versus Samoa Joe because he can't stand either of them. Strong is faking his neck injury, and he'll choke out. He said, and he'll choke out Joe. So then, all of a sudden, he says if Joe wins, he gets into Steiner math, and
God.
he literally starts saying, well, if you take my 122% chance, and he literally broke it down with Renee there, like, what the fuck? Like, looking at him like, and Cole, the whole time, Cole is straight face, like, yeah. The whole time he's going through.
I love it, bro.
It was fucking awesome.
I love when he did it. I love when Brian Breaker did it, when he like put his thing on it. I'm like, okay, so we're just throwing Steiner math in every promo now. Hey, I'm all for it though. I need Samoa Joe to do it though, because he was actually getting talking about what the Steiner math.
He did his. He's not. He's not done. He had a classic this week. They had me on the floor, so get ready for this one when we get there. That's on the next time. We're gonna have to finish off our show. Rampage. Sorry, not Rampage. Excuse. Brian Cage taking on Hangman Page. A lot of rhyming there.
Yeah.
In the next match.
Page versus Page.
This is match number 3 in the series, where the first 2 matches took place almost 2.5 years ago, if you remember. Back when Brian Cage was still part of the group led by Taz, when he had Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
And Hook. So this is leading back, or this goes back all the way to there. An apron superplex is broken up. Page hits a dead eye for the victory at 12 minutes and 8 seconds. Post-match, Page accuses Swerve for sending Cage after him as his way of avoiding doing himself. Excuse me. Swerve says this isn't over, and in one night, and issues a challenge for the Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dream match against him. Cage jumps Page from behind the line and puts Nana to dance some more. And the Young Bucks come down to make the save. Don Callis attempts, I guess, to get Dan Garcia to join this group. Not saying it was successful. We'll just say he attempted to. Next up, Nick Wayne, Darby Allin taking on Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Coffin drop finishes off Parker 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Post-match, Christian comes down, scrolling through Wayne's Instagram, and gets the biggest problem is his mom doesn't post enough pictures of herself.
Oh my God.
There's way too much about the coffin match, but Cage didn't have his regular partner. So what about Cage and Luchasaurus versus Sting and Allen next week? Your tournament finals and your main event of the evening, Roger Strong taking on Samoa Joe. As you know, Samoa Joe wins this match. It was a very good match with about 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Almost got caught in the muscle buster, but he slipped out. Sidekick hits Joe. Joe shrugs it off and puts on a coquina clutch to win the match. 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Post-match, Joe promises to take everything from MJF, and Joe leaves. So Roger Strong and the Kingdom have some words. Strong all of a sudden randomly just falls down after he was perfectly fine during the match. He just randomly falls down. Wait, hold on. I got to continue. First of all, he comes down with the neck brace, right? The Kingdom take it off of him. And then, as soon as the match is done, he literally randomly just goes, and just falls over. So they literally take him out on the stretcher as he's faking the fuck out of this shit.
Oh my God.
So Cole comes down, like he's like, oh my God, he's checking on him just to get choked out Samoa Joe too in the show.
Oh.
I thought it was hilarious. The way he played into it, because he just was randomly, he was arguing with him like nothing was fucking wrong, and all of a sudden he just realized Cole was there, just like, and falls over.
Like, Cole didn't see it? Cole didn't fake it? Like,
that shit was funny as fuck.
Cole ain't seen him fake that?
I know, he saw it. I don't even believe it or not.
Oh, Lord.
That shit was fucking funny. All right, Rampage. All right, so on Rampage. We get a second. Ready? So wild slap nuts in the loose. Diddle it.
JEFF to the double T, Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett, Jay
Jeff
Lethal,
time.
and the Butcher and the Blade taking on the Hardys and the Lucha Brothers. The faces go over. Penta wins, hitting the Blackfire Driver on the Butcher. 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Post-match, the Hardys are down in the ramp with the Righteous standing over them. They could have took a shot, took them out. They didn't. They basically just came out as, threatening. Britt Baker is annoyed over her recent losses recently and says she wants to rectify that by going after the TBS title. She has a title shot on Collision.
Finally.
We're going to skip this because your boy,
Oh, God.
Marshall.
No.
Next up,
Thank you.
This match.
The court.
If you heard the opponents, you probably would have thought it was a squash. Not saying that the opponents were bad. It's that they've been off TV for a while. They gave them more time in this match, though they did end up going down. Matt Sydal and Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels team up to take on the Kingdom.
No, Christopher Daniels still around?
Yep. Well, you backstage producer. Wrestles from time to time.
Yeah. I knew Sydal. I thought Sydal was hurt. I knew that. But I didn't know about, what's the name,
So the Proto Pack, which is a backpack stunner rolling boot combination, finishes off Christopher Daniels 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Victory for the Kingdom. Post-match, Taven said they need to get Roger Strong back in the hospital when it's all Adam Cole's fault. They want the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. And remember that it's Neck Health Awareness Month.
What?
Neck Health Awareness
Oh,
Month.
Lord. Roger Strong about to really be in that brace.
The Mogul Embassy doesn't like the Young Bucks, so they want to take on the Young Bucks and Cage in the ROH Trios Championship match, basically. On next week's show, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn take on the Outrunners and Peter Avalon. Squash match. Guess how long it went? Our fave.
Minute 20.
Half of, double that. 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Oh. You said Peter Avalon. I thought that's going to be a quick squash.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right to think that, for sure. He'll never win. Post-match, Dark Order comes out at the issue a challenge for the Trios titles. First off, you get a single match on Collision, though, with the gang of rock, paper, scissors to find out who's going to fight for the chance. Everybody throwing down scissors. Bones says he'll do it. So there you go. Somebody stepped up.
That was lame.
Here's the next one. Ready? Aussie Open taking on Lord Crew and Damian Chambers. I did not know that was their names until this very moment.
Lord Cruz and Damian Chambers?
And this match happened 8 days ago. And I did not know until this very moment that was their names because when the match started, they was already in the ring.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Go. How many seconds?
I'm going to say a minute 30.
You gave him too much fucking credit. 54 seconds.
Damn. With a name like that, you know they get some more time. That's a nice name, Lord Chambers. That's like some shit William Regal made up.
Lord Crew and Damian Chambers. But Lord and Chambers, I guess.
That's a raw name, though. That's a raw tag team name. They need to be a tag team with that name, Lord Chambers.
Post-match, they challenged FTR for the titles at Wrestle Dream.
FTR said they want some other name, so.
No, they don't. And here's my thing with that. I know we're getting short on time. We need to finish up so we can both get on and watch what I'll say. But here's my thing. And it's not their fault they don't book themselves. But when you put them in matches against the fucking Iron Savages, and then I'm trying to remember who the other crumb bums they faced the other week in an open challenge. There was crumb bums compared to the other competition they could be facing in the tag team division, the best tag team division in wrestling. I get they basically faced everybody, but like you can't like put they have open challenges with them. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't be like, oh, well, they're really fit. No, they're not really. That's not competition. You knew they were gonna beat them guys. Now you should probably have the match with Aussie Open earlier, but I get it. Bill stressing that out. Aussie Open's a bigger name, so you want to put it in a bigger tier, so you progress Wrestle Dream. Makes sense, but I mean, you didn't necessarily have to have FTR wrestling on those shows.
Right.
But this is a good way for them to bounce back from losing that match at All Out against Bullet Club. Go get him a couple wins under the belt. So I guess I can understand that logic. But the level of competition is just like, come on.
No, I get you.
Like, we'll get to a match they have coming up. Speaking of the Iron Savages match, we'll talk about that in the Grand Slam. Oh, actually, was that's on this show? It may be on this show. We'll get to it in a second. Anyway, no, it's not. It's on the next show we get to. It's on Collision. Anyway, your main event, Jade Cargill in her final match. I get to say that for once today. Her final match at AEW. Not because she was released.
I was saying not because she got fired.
Taking on Chris Statlander in a pretty good match. It went 10 minutes. Eventually, Jade gets blocked. Statlander hits a discus lariat, an axe kick that sets up the Friday Night Fever, and she retains against Jade. It was a hell of a back and forth between them. They even shared a hug out of respect after the match. That's another reason I know she's got to be leaving, because she don't never show face tendencies. So, that was the end of Rampage.
All right, let's start off with going to the SmackDown. This SmackDown is special. This is the first SmackDown under Endeavor.
Fuck's that make it special, boy?
I don't know, because it's the first SmackDown that's not heavily Vince owned.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Pat McAfee. Well, you know, hell, I mean, you are in Denver, Colorado. He's in Colorado for the game. I mean, of course, there he goes, doing stop by. Funny black tank top. There he comes out. Black
Somebody else
top.
is there in Colorado for the game. Shows up too.
Top too. And funny because McAfee makes some marijuana references, you know, because it's legal to smoke weed in Colorado. And then Derek started making these jokes, and he said, "It's the people show." You know what that means? Here comes the Rock. You hear that if you smell. All of a sudden, people is amp. And it's funny because the first thing the Rock came in the ring and said, "Shut your bitch ass up."
To McAfee?
No, to Austin Theory. Theory. He told first thing they said, "Shut your bitch ass up." And then basically the Rock also was wearing a black tank top, you know, throws his what's name into the crowd. He does the finally scared. Then Rock started talking, Austin Theory hits him with it doesn't matter what you say, basically. Basically he said it don't matter. He said cause Stone Cold, he basically said that he started making jokes about Stone Cold. He said, "Stone Cold, that's my boy, you know. You from A-Town, but it's clear you a a-hole." You know, I guess you can't say ass on TV. Get the crowd to do the asshole chant back and forth. 4, spine buster, people's elbow. McAfee does the people's elbow himself. And that made this special. Didn't nobody know that the Rock was even going to be there. Like, they kept that, like, under wraps. Like, then we get AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. You know, these two, and they go, "Oh, it's a great match. Good match. Phenomenal forearm miss. Jimmy with a distraction, unfortunately. Balor hits a crucifix to get the win. Pat McAfee and The Rock is talking when John Cena comes up. John Cena and Rock have a stare down, but they hug because everything's cool. Finn Balor. Guess what? Guess what he's doing? Guess what Finn's doing?
Coming out.
He's recruiting the other Uso.
Oh, I thought he was coming out to
Why
interrupt.
don't you join Judgment? They like, you join this one. You know, Jay joined too. You know, that way. Y'all, look, Roman's the leader of the block. Ain't no leaders here, you know? We're all of us today. So he just like pushing that we're all together narrative. LWO comes out here. They get interrupted by the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. This leads to a match. Against the LWO. Guess how long this match took? It was the Street Profits versus the LWO. Mind this is Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro.
1 minute, 38 seconds.
52 seconds.
Damn, I gave it too much.
LA Knight versus Miz in the rematch. LA Knight win. This match was shorter than a payback match, which helped. Basically helped Knight get over. We get your boy Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, boy.
First said he still can hear his bones breaking. Which Rich Holland started laughing. And then he asked, "Why are you in a wheelchair for a shoulder injury?" And then he get up and get the...
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Basically, Bailey versus Asuka, which is funny because for some reason Bailey was scared. Like, the color cop trying to get her pumped up, and Bailey looks like shook. Asuka gets the win at 8 minutes. Grayson Waller effect. He basically comes out here talking smack about John Cena. Jimmy Uso comes out here. Paul and Solo come out here. They get in Cena's face. Solo grabs Jimmy, turns around and super kicks Cena. Then Solo beats down on Cena. AJ Styles make the save. Jimmy and Heyman build to end the show. in the show. So that was the SmackDown. I mean, basically the SmackDown. One thing about this SmackDown I like was that they said, like, with the death of Wyatt and Terry Funk, you know, they said you needed a SmackDown like this. You needed a SmackDown where you just needed somebody like The Rock, like a Pat, like somebody you know that can just, like, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Add gravitas to the situation, take your mind off of.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was thinking that
the
big
passing.
word,
and
but
stuff.
yeah, like that's what a lot of fans liked about the SmackDown. It's like
He said I
yeah,
wasn't thinking that big ass.
but that's the SmackDown. That's what a lot of fans were saying about that SmackDown. They didn't mind. They like we just needed that SmackDown as like a fresh air, like to just get over all the passes and everything, you know. So
Gotcha. All right. Next up on Collision, wrapping it up. We're finally up to the final week. This is the last match of last week. We're going to finish this so we can go watch some college football for the evening. Opening sequence match. It starts off as I like that my notes here has Big Cass instead of Big Bill. his old slave name. Anyway, they all cut promos before the show. You know what they do. The matches, people having their matches on the show cut promos before the show starts on Collision. Excuse me. Ladies get the main event again. They've been on a nice streak with that. Ricky Starks and Big Bill taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson. This one was interesting. They gave it time. We went 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Came to where Bill and Castagnoli fighting on the floor, leaving Danielson unloaded to hit a belly back suplex. Starks turns that over and lands on Danielson for 2, leaving Bill to distract the ref. That was enough for Starks to hit a low blow and then hit a Rochambeau to finish off Danielson. Not important. More Miro Powerhouse stuff. Basically the same as I told you before. Not much changes from there. Here's the match a lot of people had a problem with. Guess how long this match went? And it felt so much longer than this. It felt like easily double this. Next match being FTR versus Iron Savage.
you said something about this match for like 11 minutes or something.
It felt like 11 minutes.
Oh, how long it went? I don't know, like 4 minutes. I'm going generous here.
Close. 3 minutes, 16 seconds.
Damn it, man, we all over.
It felt so much longer, though, when you watched it. The Savages came out with a dude named Jack Jameson. He had to catch the Shatter Machine for his efforts trying to talk trash to FTR. Actually, the dudes, I forgot the name. One was the Boulder Cat. I forgot the other cat's names. Anyway, they actually put up a decent fight in this one and were getting over at one point. This is where they fucked up. Big men don't go busting out moonsaults. One try in this match. Got yourself
Yes,
caught.
sir, that's what happened.
They got hit with a Shatter Machine, and then they got put into a powerplex on Boulder for the victory. The reason why, I think part of the reason why people felt like it went too long because Aussie Open also had a match on this card. I'm going to skip to it right now. Once again, it's another match where the people were in the ring, so you don't even know their names. At least the people last week, they got their names given.
Oh.
How long is the match?
I don't know, fucking 45 seconds.
That was the closest anybody's ever been on this fucking show. 43 seconds.
Damn it, fell over.
Only by 2, though.
Damn it, though. Still, though. I
We've
wouldn't get
never-
one of those right.
we've never
I'm
ever
proud of
done
that one,
that.
though. I can pull that one on my ass. I'm just figuring like, man, all these squash matches been like 2, 3 minutes. One of these bitches got to be under like a minute.
The Aussies jumped him, hit an Alabama slam, and a style powerbomb for the victory.
Oh, damn.
43 seconds.
That whole thing is like...
After this match, not the last one I said, after this one is where they challenged FTR for the titles at Wrestle Corner.
Okay.
But either way, there's the same team. Just I got the week wrong. Anyway, back to the match I skipped over to talk about that. Keith Lee backstage.
Can you
There's something else that was weird here. Somebody came up and clapped their hands like a director was like, take 22 on his promo spot. And I don't know if that was on purpose or to try and like make a joke or something. It was weird. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. Some other people did, I guess, whatever. Either way, this is where Shane Taylor interrupts his interview and comes up and says, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you next. I got a good taste of slapping man meat with Samoa Joe. I'm obviously, Paraphrasing here, but yeah, he basically challenged the next. Next match, John Silver taking on Anthony Bowens. I've been saying there's been a lot of heel heavy, especially on Collision recently. Silver wins 9 minutes and 10 seconds.
Woohoo!
So what happened was, real quick, Bowens was fine enough to knock him down to the outside of the discus farm, but Q Evil Uno from under the ring, whose posturing is enough of a distraction for Silver to hit a running kick to the head and get the victory. Another sit down with Eddie Kingston cutting a promo about his history with Claudio Castagnoli, how far it goes back and why he hates him so much, basically. Hook and Orange Cassidy decide to share Doritos and become a tag team together.
Oh, that's odd.
Scorpio Sky taking on Andrade El Idolo, or Idolo, as my man Ian Riccaboni said. Andrade Idolo. Very good match. Scorpio Sky put up a good fight. Caught a really stiff spinning back elbow from Andrade in this one at one point in time. There was a big running flip dive to the outside, but Andrade kicks out. He kicks his legs out at him as he goes to the outside. The action goes back inside the ring. Andrade hits the figure 4 along with the bridge into the figure 8 to get the tap out 9 minutes and 10 seconds. So if they're not together anymore, he's still doing her fucking move.
Yeah.
Post-match, they show respect to each other and shake hands till they're interrupted by Bullet Club Gold, who was calling out Andrade for watching their match last week, and it's like, you were looking like you want to be one of us, but you can't be one of us, so instead we're going to take you down, basically challenging him to a match next week. So on next week's Collision, which is tonight's Collision, you're going to get Jay White taking on Andrade El Idolo in a singles match.
Probably a main event.
Could be. I doubt it, but it could be. Collision's known, from every Collision I've watched so far, they're known for having a really good match right in the middle of the show. Right about that 9 o'clock hour. So it could be that match. Like the very first Collision, a couple months back, that match was Andrade taking on Buddy Murphy. It was at the 9 o'clock hour. A great match. Great match. So that's what
great match down there WWE together.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they always manage to tier it out. Like, you're not just to get front loaded or back loaded with all your best matches. They spread them throughout Collision.
I like that. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Exactly. Shibata's backstage says he'll be at Wrestle Dream. What he's doing, we don't know yet. The Hardys take on the Righteous. The Hardys put over the Righteous. This is twice because they had that 4-way tag match. The Righteous won. In the one-on-one, they put him over. Match goes 7 minutes 26 seconds.
Wow.
The Autumn Sunshine, which is basically the Deadly Dog, finishes off Jeff Hardy. Post-match, they talk about they're here to tell you the truth and they're here to kill your egos, and they want to challenge Adam Cole and MJF for the ROH tag titles and take on their fake kind of love and friendship.
Fake.
Not word for word, but it's
Yeah,
basically.
I get you saying.
TBS title match in your main event. Chris Statlander taking on Britt Baker, fighting in front of her home crowd because this Collision was at State College, where Penn State is. I guess she went to Penn State also. Her gear was Penn State, navy blue and white.
Oh,
Did not
so
fucking
Blue
matter.
lost.
Yeah, she straight lost. This is one of the rare times. This is one of the rare times where AEW has wrestled losing their home. Unlike WWE, they usually let you win in your home.
Yeah, you're not winning at your home.
Not this time. Well, they WWE this one because she sure as fuck didn't win this one. But it was a good match. It went almost 12 minutes. It basically went down like this at the end. Baker hit a knee, but Panama Sunrise countered into a Saturday Night Fever, which is countered into a roll-up for 2. Britt Baker hits a Canadian Destroyer into the Angel's Wings into a stomp for another rather close 2. She tried to hit like an octopus lock like AJ Lee used to do and somehow rolled her forward into the lockjaw, but then she rolled her up out the lockjaw for the victory on her shoulders.
Oh wow.
She didn't release the lockjaw and got rolled up.
That bench pressing Renee helped out when you did it.
I guess.
Did you ever she like squatting Renee while she was interviewing?
After the match, they showed respect to each other before Britt just shook her hand and rolled out the ring. Pretty sorry. That was the end of Collision.
I don't know. Maybe Britt might be turning to going back to the heel side. I don't know. Back to Raw. On me, right?
Yep.
All right.
I don't know why you said that. And you do Raw. So yes.
No, I forgot because we switched up because you did what's the name, and then I got the show switched up. Anyway, this is from Salt Lake City, Utah. 3 weeks away, we might start to see some matches that's going to happen on Fastlane. We don't really have no other info. Outside, guess who get this Raw started off? It's been a couple weeks since he got a Raw started off, but he only got to get the Raw started off. That's Mr. Pyrotechnic himself, Cody Rhodes. Dominic interrupts, and he talks about how Jay is going to join Judgment Day, and that Rhea is out tonight because Nia Jax beat her down last week. So you don't get mommy this week. And then Cody, this what got me. Cody, I think, watch TV shows, but he don't watch the end of them. Because he like, don't they have that like Steve? He compared their relationship to Steve and Laura. Because he like, cause you know, Rhea really isn't into him. But I'm like, if you watch the last couple seasons of Family Matters, Laura kind of really did like him though.
But that's when he was Stefan though.
But she made you go around liking Steve though. Like,
I don't remember Family Matters. Go ahead.
yeah. They're doing the dark side of comedy on Family Matters too. So.
Well, you could have one. You had his girlfriend that died of lupus. You had the youngest daughter just went upstairs and never came back to the show. Then she goes on and does a porno.
And then the fact that a lot of the cast didn't like Jaleel White really.
Jaleel White.
Yeah, like a lot of them didn't like him though. Like him. They didn't like the fact that they felt all the episodes geared towards him, but he didn't want it that way though. Like,
That's the writers. That's their fault.
Yeah,
They had a star and just fully pushed towards that. How many comedies have done that in the years? It's not his fault. Anyway, back to wrestling. Let's finish the
first we
show.
get Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. Now Dominic's an NXT champion, North American champion. Guess how long this match was? Now it's Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio.
2 minutes 30 seconds.
2:10.
Damn, I was off by 20 seconds.
Judgment Day stares down Cody, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn makes a save. Owens said that Jey Uso is back on Raw because of Cody. Cody said, yeah. Owens said he talked about everything. Owens talked about everything. JD said, why you want to bring him back? He said, there are people in the back who need to hear this, but there are people who probably know this. His job is to make these people happy. And he also said, now the bloodline is down a member. Sammy tried to play peacekeeper, to give it a chance. He said he won't trust him. Rhea had bruised ribs. Rodriguez also hurt with whiplash. So, Kofi Kingston versus Ibar. They went 13 minutes. Kofi gets the win. 13 minutes. Trouble in Paradise. Dice. Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura gets the win by DQ, because this time Ricochet said, I had enough of you hitting me with fucking chairs. So I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with one. With one. And he beat him down too. Then after this, now this what got me. Ricochet yelled at the ref because he's mad about what's name. Nakamura takes his knee out. Now Ricochet knee getting destroyed with the chair to Rollins makes the save. Pedigree attempt, security breaks it up. Rollins gets cheap shot in his back again. Neville and Chelsea Gray are basically ready for Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark because they're friends. Piper and Neville don't buy into that shit that they're friends. Now tag match. We get this match ends in DQ at 3 minutes and 52 seconds. You know why it ended at 3 minutes and 52 seconds? Because Nia Jax come back here and wreck more shit. She took all 4 of them out.
Nia Cargill.
She took all 4 of them out. And said she put a division on notice. They would ask for one more shot. He said you have to earn it. Damon Priest tried to talk Jey Uso into joining Judgment Day. Everybody trying to recruit the Judgment Day. Gable versus Bronson Reed. Reed hit the tsunami. 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Becky Lynch comes out here brag about winning the championship. She has an open challenge. Natalya opens that challenge. Becky gets the win at 6 minutes 6 minutes and 14 seconds. What you expect in a Natalya match, you know, a good match. Dragon Lee said that he won a North American title shot. We get Giovanni Vinci versus Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa wins this match in 3 minutes. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. This is your main event. They talk trash. Good back and forth match. They ended this match goes when Priest offers distraction. Jay gets a shot in the zone for 2. Gets a shot on his 2. He looks like he's going to join Judgment Day, but he super kicks all of them. That leads to a Claymore. McIntyre gets a win at 14 minutes. After the match, McIntyre leaves, and then they could beat him down. Cody makes the save at the end of the match. That's the end of the Raw. So, Drew McIntyre still don't trust. Still don't trust him. I want to see where they're going to go with Drew McIntyre with this, seeing that, because, Riddle got released. That's who we probably going to feud with next. So, let's see where they go with Drew McIntyre. Oh, NXT. Dang, I keep forgetting, my fault. Alrighty. NXT. We start with Becky Lynch. Lynch, she said Tiffy time is over. She said she's seen people with rocket strapped to their back, but NXT feel different. She said she wants it more than Stratton does. This time, Tiffany Stratton comes out. They have what?
It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Go ahead. It's just more just Colorado hate. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Stratton basically grabbed a chair. They lead to a fight. Kiana James comes up in here to make the save. Dragunov said he's ready for Hayes and No Mercy. Becky said she want to face Stratton and James in a 2-on-1 match. The Metaphors in the lounge, we don't care about them. Don Mysterio comes up to trick Williams and try to draw a wedge between Williams and Hayes. That don't work. We get Tyler Bate versus Butch. Another great match between these two. Bitter End gives Butch. He loaded up again, only to give Bate with a power drive for the pin at 12 minutes. Great match between these two. Duke Hudson versus Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey gets the win. Loses to Hudson here. Roxanne Perez versus your girl Lola Vice. She don't get the win here. 4 minutes, she loses to Roxanne Perez. But Vice worked it good though. She's more like a submission specialist. Her offense kind of more geared like more to like submissions. Next we get Roxanne Perez said she want to tag with Becky Lynch. Becky said no, I ain't gonna tag with you because your arm messed up. Hayes versus Dominic Mysterio. Double DQ. 8 minutes after dragging off interfere. Was going into a good match. They didn't really turn much into it. Trick isn't happy. Guess we got more recruiting. I guess we're recruiting Trick Williams.
Dom.
No. It's Spam Schism. Yeah. He's recruiting now. Them leads fell now. They need some people.
Yeah.
Next, we get a dice game going on the outside with Bronco Nemo and Lucian Prince. Scripps is there. Scripps wins this game. Why is this shit on here? No, I don't care about Hank Walker and Tank Landry. They're not going to do nothing. Nathan Frazier, Joe Coffey, Duke Hudson, triple threat match. All the best for the Bells finish on Duke Hudson. Coffey gets the win here. Butch comes in for the stare down. So your final is Butch versus Coffey. Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton are ready to team up. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James. Valkyrie comes out last minute. She found her tag partner. Good back and forth match. Valkyrie hits a top rope splash to get the win on James at 11 minutes and 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And that's the end of NXT. Oh, by the way, my fault. Tiffany Stratton proceeds to continue our theme of this week's show, beat Becky Lynch down with a chair, and said their match is going to be an Extreme Rules match and No Mercy. So, that's the end of NXT.
Alrighty.
Gotta take this phone call.
Do your thing, brother. Alright, so let's get into Grand Slam for the next 2 episodes. Hurry up and finish up here. The opening match of Grand Slam was Claudio Castagnoli, the ROH World Champion, taking on the New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, Eddie Kingston. Second to the ring with Castagnoli was Wheeler Yuta. This is an excellent match that's been building up for years. It was very cathartic to watch. I was rising and falling. I obviously wanted Kenny to win, no bias, but I did. And there's nothing against Claudio Castagnoli. I've been wanting him to be champion for the longest. I've been wanting to be a champion, the world champion of AEW. I could see for a while, but Eddie. But I definitely.
He deserves it, but he will be like the Kurt Hennig or the Jake Roberts. He will never get it. But he deserves it, though.
Well, before you go, let me tell you, he's Mr. Two Belts. Eddie Kingston wins this match. And it was I was just saying before you left, it was so cathartic. They were counting.
Let's go, Eddie.
Let's go. They were counting 1, 2, and 3. Like, yeah, Eddie! I clapped. And you know, I don't emotionally get that loud for a wrestling match, but I was happy.
And he won a big one, man.
My man went over. It was an excellent match. He did 3 Yurkins, still didn't win with that. Eventually, he dropped him with the power bomb and got the 3 count.
Oh, we love Eddie Kingston so much. Eddie Kingston's like your norm. He's like our champion. He's not the biggest dude. He's not the fittest. He's not the strongest. He's not the fastest. He's like one of us. He's the American champion.
The match went 15 minutes, 16 seconds.
They went good.
They gave him time. After the match, Yuta came in the ring and started helping Claudio get up. And Claudio pushed him away because he had strapped and putting the belt in his shoulder. He pushed him away, shook Eddie's hands, and shoved the belt on him and walked off.
Got his handshake.
He did get his handshake though, so he's like, you couldn't really say it was too salty, bitch. He did give him the handshake, and he didn't do it quick. He gave him the regular handshake, but then shoved the belt at him and walked off. You could tell he was pissed off.
Yeah.
He lost, but he did what he said. He gave him the handshake.
Let's go, Eddie. Let's go.
In front of his home crowd. See, AEW do you good in front of your home, so he's from New York, so and he got a great pop. The fans fucking loved it. It was fucking awesome. I love it. Next up. This was funny. They showed Kingston at Roderick Strong's bedside in the hospital, where he received a card from Olga Dagenham for promoting Neck Health Awareness Month. Strong calls out Adam Cole, who actually uses off screen, so it shows up immediately. Cole trades a couple words with the Kingdom before the two of them leave, saying they got to get ready for Grand Slam. Cole says he has to head out too to be at MJF's title match. But when he says it, Roger Strong has like this thing in his bed, so he raises the back part like, just go. Goes back down. It was hilarious. Christian Cage ready to take out Sting and Darby Allin. He's also ready for Luchasaurus to get a TNT title shot at Collision, but Sting is barred from ringside. He also dogs all of New York baseball at the same time. He basically slips up and said it's going to be a handicap collision, but it's really supposed to be a triple threat. Christian Cage versus Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin, but we'll see how that ends up going. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara is next. You see more of Chris Jericho not being able to keep up with a lot of the younger guys that are just, obviously he's in his mid-50s, almost 60, and Sammy Guevara is almost 30 years younger than him. It's going to be hard to keep up with a guy like that, obviously. And he does his best out there. He still does his thing. But you kind of see him slowing down. But I thought this match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be going into it, I would say. My favorite spot of the match is that there was a point where they started chopping away at each other back and forth. Sammy Guevara hits a drop kick on Jericho. And he hits a drop kick on Jericho. And he ends up... Jericho falls off to the side, so Sammy Guevara does a spin and lays down for the pose. All of a sudden, Jericho runs up and does the pose anyway, but begrudgingly, and it punches him in the face. So I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. Anyway, this match ends up coming down to a top rope cutter connect, but a GTS is countered into the walls. Guevara breaks that up as well, and they both go up top. Guevara grabs a twisted cutter. For 2. Jericho hits a bulldog, cuts back for a knee to the face. The GCAs connects this time. Guevara goes back up top for a shooting star, but Jericho gets the knees up for the code breaker to counter the shooting star. Awesome finish. Match goes 15 minutes. Jericho wins. The last 2 Jericho wins have been very surprising. I definitely didn't expect them to win this match. I expected them to put Sammy over, and I definitely didn't expect to see them as a tag team defeat Aussie Open, but somehow they did, so we'll see where this goes. From here, there was a lot of shades of Jericho versus Shawn Michaels, whether it be the 2003-2004 match they had or the 2008 feud where Jericho accidentally punched Shawn Michaels' real-life wife in the face. So basically, post-match, they hug, and they shake hands and hug until Guevara kicks him in the nuts. Dick kick city, straight to Jericho. Q Don Callis coming down to the ring to give congratulations to the new member of the family. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. Sammy Guevara is now a part of the Don Callis family with Konosuke Kiteska, so we'll see where that goes. Moving on from there, MGS Massimo Joe for 8 years and promises to choke him out. Adam Cole is there for the fist bump, but he has to answer a call from Roger Strong, bitching more about his neck. Cole goes off to assure Strong that he isn't going to die, leaving him to promote the victory over Joe. That shit was fucking silly. As they're walking backstage, Sammy Guevara and Don Callis come across Daniel Garcia. They almost look like they're about to get into an argument again, but Callis Herbie gets there and says, "Oh yeah, he's a great fighter. Don't worry about it. He's a great fighter." And just walks off Sammy Guevara somewhere. So, next up, international title match. Ray Phoenix taking on Jon Moxley. Very controversial match. Here's the reasons why. People feel like they let Jon Moxley wrestle with a concussion, and I disagree. Jon Moxley let Jon Moxley wrestle with a concussion. He didn't have a concussion that they knew of before going into the match. The concussion happened at the beginning of the match. Basically, Ray Phoenix did a dive over the top ropes. Jon Moxley caught him, and it landed kind of awkwardly, and that's where the concussion came from. Now, I guess you could have stopped the match right there and called a double count or whatever. They've done it in the past of other matches. I believe there was a match with Pac and Orange Cassidy or something like that, where it was called for that reason or whatever. You could have did that here, but it's not like they knew, and for the most part, watching back the match, he didn't show any signs of wear and tear off of it, like he was super affected by the concussion or whatever. You didn't really notice it come to effect at the end of the match, where Ray Phoenix goes to hit the black fire driver on Moxley. He hits it, but when he hits it, Moxley's head clearly touches. Like, it wasn't as bad as Stone Cold Power Driver from Owen Hart in 97, but it was clearly touching. So he was supposed to, I guess, it would be put down by I'm not sure how the fit is supposed to go. I guess maybe Ray Phoenix is supposed to go over the whole time. So Moxley was supposed to go down, and I guess Rick Knox didn't know the finish. They were going to just call it in the ring. I guess they said he twitched, even though Moxley did not move his shoulder. He did not kick out. But they said he twitched, and then they did the count again. They basically did the whole sequence again. Phoenix picked him right back up, did another Fire Thunder Driver on his dome again. It was made a lot of people think that's where the concussion happened, and this time got the pin for the victory and the title. Surprisingly, match goes 11 minutes and 34 seconds. So Moxley is laying there not moving in the ring as Phoenix is celebrating after this. That's where a lot of people got scary into it. Moxley did end up leaving the ring under his own volition and on his own power. So they said he's okay now after the fact. Quick story about that. Also, real quick, I'll talk about it because it's also tied into this. Adam Cole somehow hurt himself, ended up leaving the arena in crutches, though he didn't even have a match that night. He was just coming down to support Samoa Joe. Maybe it's how he came down to the ring. Maybe he twisted the knee or something like that. We're about to hear about it now in this story I was saving from my news earlier in the show until we got to this match. As previously reported, Adam Cole and Jon Moxley are both believed to have suffered injuries at Dynamite Grand Slam. Cole is believed to have injured his ankle, so he probably twisted his ankle, when he jumped off the ramp during the main event. Fightful Select reports that he was taken to the hospital after showing looks and looked at. He was last seen using crutches, but it's probably just a high ankle sprain or something like that. He'll probably be okay. That's not as major as Moxley's, who was thought to have suffered a mild concussion. He told people after the match he was fine. He was being checked on by Tony Khan and others after leaving under his own power. Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Radio added that Moxley wasn't hurt during the finish of the match, but actually the first minutes of the match. When he caught Phoenix on a dive, Phoenix landed on his head with the back of his head hitting the floor. Moxley was originally intended to retain the title, but they called a audible during the match at that last segment where he did the Fire Thunder Driver in the pin twice. They said neither of the power drivers hurt Moxley. They said he was fine from that. He's doing better later in the night and was okay backstage. So just a quick injury update on those two right quick. Turns out everything's cool though, thankfully. So anyway, moving on from here. Your women's title match, Saraya, this is your semi-main, taking on Toni Storm. Toni Storm's been great in the last couple of weeks. She recently had an interview prior to this. I believe it was on Collision or on last week's Dynamite with RJ City. And she's basically talking about nobody around here would know talent if it came up and slapped their tits off. Or doing best Marilyn Monroe montage or impersonation, whatever you want to call it. She's been doing such great work recently. She did a great job in this match too. It came down to what played in the all-in match in London where she had Saraya set up against the turnbuckle, knowing the neck issue she's had in the past, the naked turnbuckle, because they took the cover off of it. She's unable to hit the hip toss into it though. Eventually that plays into the finish. Saraya back in the ring. So steals a spray paint can from Storm. Set pain is skipped to Saraya, who blasts Storm in the face with it. They hit the nightcap on it. Gets a 2 count on this one. Toni Storm then slaps a kiss on Saraya, setting up the Storm Zero show, and he gets 2 for that. Eventually, though, Toni Storm goes down to another nightcap after being hitting the exposed turnbuckle for 8 minutes and 49 seconds. You had left for the second, missed what I was talking about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's no problem. So, what happened with Moxley? His concussion, it came from the beginning of the match when he caught Ray Phoenix. He caught him, Phoenix laid on his head, and he smacked his head in the ground.
Ooh.
It wasn't from the Fire Thunder power drivers at the end of the match at all. So he basically wrestled the whole match with a concussion. Some people thought that, you shouldn't do that when, I don't think they knew. Because during the match, he didn't show any wear and tear from having a concussion. You just knew after the match.
Time a wrestler wrestled with a concussion.
But I'm saying, though, before they had stopped the match with a double count out with a match between Pac and Orange Cassidy from a while back when Pac had a concussion. They didn't finish the match, just had a double count out. They figured that they could have did that, but if the wrestler is the one with the concussion and not telling anybody and continue the match, how are they supposed to know? You can't just go out there and guess the shit and stop the match on a whim, you know?
I mean, not only that, too, though, it was obviously you knew something was wrong with Pac when he caught his.
Yeah, but Moxley, you couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell with Moxley.
You couldn't tell. And then on top of that,
tell,
he was supposed to retain. He changed the finish because of the concussion during the match. That's why they did the end spot twice with the Fire Thunder driver and the pin, even though he never kicked out of the first pin. But they said Rick Knox stopped the count at 2.999, and they said, he must have flinched. So he picked him up and did it again. That's when he was talking to him, telling him, change the finish, put him over, basically, because of his concussion thing. So while you were going, I was talking about that.
So Mox lost?
Mox lost the belt. Yeah, Ray Phoenix is your new international champion. Also, while you were gone, we talked about Guevara, Jericho. Basically, all I was saying was Jericho wins the match surprisingly. Great match. Ends up, I ain't gonna say he got too cocky because he was sticking inside of his own moveset, but he's got caught in it. He went for a shooting star press. Jericho caught him with the code breaker off the top for the victory. Great. It went 15 minutes and 9 seconds. It was a match that started kind of slower, but it built up to a pretty good crescendo. My favorite spot of the match. They start off trading shots with each other. Eventually, it's broken up with Sammy Guevara hitting a drop kick on Jericho and sends him off to the side. He does the spin and does the pose like this, right? All of a sudden, Jericho runs over, does the pose with him begrudgingly, and then punches him in the face. I thought it was hilarious. How the hell fucking no?
Oh, God.
I thought it was fucking great.
Jericho.
After the match, they shake hands and hug it out. No, they're not, because then Sammy Guevara kicks him right in the dick, just like Jericho did Shawn Michaels back in the day. This whole match had a lot of Shawn Michaels, Jericho from 2008 vibes to it. And I think that was on purpose. So I thought that was pretty dope. He's part of Don Callis' family now. Sammy Guevara is. Yep, Don Callis came down to the ring after Dick Kick City, walked him off to the back. So we'll see where that goes.
Wow.
Moving on from there, it's talking about the Moxley thing. So now you're caught up to where I'm at, and we're at our main. Oh wait, sorry. Finish this one off. Yeah, Soraya retains the title with the nightcap. Then we're at our main event. Samoa Joe taking on MJF. Really good match. The match ended up going 18 minutes 30 seconds. Max kept promising that he was going to choke him out. The only reason he did get the choke out on, because it was a good back and forth. Joe started to get over eventually at some point. As Cole came down, Cole got hurt by twisting his ankle jumping off of the ramp. So it could be like a high ankle sprain. That's why he walked off on the crutches. Nothing super major. He could be back from that in a couple weeks. He came down to help his friend out, and somehow he snuck in a garrote and passed that to MJF, who just hit it from the ref and shit.
Yes.
And then he choked out Samoa Joe with the garrote to win the match, which he promised he was going to choke him out. So he retains the title in front of his hometown fans, also his mom and dad in the crowd. Also,
yeah, he's hometown. He's wearing Mets gear.
Yep. And then after that, Joe pushes Cole out the way, shakes Maxwell's hand, and walks off. And that was the end of Rampage. Dynamite Grand Slam, the first part. Now we're into the second part, which is Rampage. This one starts off, also from Arthur S., Darby Allin and Sting taking on Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. This is prior to the triple threat, or as they lifted the veil on, basically, handicap match you're going to have on Collision tonight. But this match goes about 9 minutes. It ends with action back in the ring where Cage delivers a poke to the eyes of Darby Allin, is looking for the kill switch when Nick Wayne jumps onto the apron for the distraction, and successful as Darby Allin jackknife roll-up pin victory. Your winners, Sting and Darby Allin. Match number 2, Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Chris Statlander taking on Money Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Anna Jose. Match went way longer than it probably fucking should have. The faces win. Orange Cassidy, Statlander, and Hook in about 12 minutes. It was finished off. Jake Hager came down. He was off the guard off, kind of corner off Orange Cassidy. He gets caught with an orange punch while Anna Jay tries to jump on Cassidy's back and tries to choke him out. Statlander comes from behind her and plants her with a face buster as Parker is taken out with the orange punch for the victory. I'll skip that because it's your boy back, Marshall. Don Callis is in the ring. He said he recollected a few weeks in pro wrestling. Was a buzz in his pursuit of Chris Jericho. But he said really what I really wanted was Sammy Guevara the whole time. Speaking of Sammy, the young man has come looking for a Miami Vice drug lord. He comes out looking like a Miami Vice drug lord. He gets a decent amount of views. He admits he hated Callis as much as the fans hated him. Sammy realized Don wasn't trying to hurt the family, but in fact, showing how he never had one. The real reason for turning on Jericho is simple. Jericho held him back for years and taking him for granted. As far as Sammy's concerned, he doesn't need the fans as he has his wife, his kid, and a fat paycheck. Jericho is dead to Sammy Guevara, and he never wants to see him again, is what he says. So, moving on from that, Alex Marvez catches up with Omega, and Jericho interrupts and mentions how their feud has brought forth AEW. As far as Jericho is concerned, Sammy and I skipped something. My bad. Let me go back, rewind a little bit there. My fault. Basically, at the end of the feud, Jericho comes out to clean house in the ring. About to get his hands on Callis. All of a sudden, Takeshita catches him off guard with the steel chair to the back. Sammy comes in with another steel chair. They both take turns bashing him until Kenny Omega comes out to make the save. Stops Callis from hitting his favorite move, which is screwdriver to cat's heads right now. They basically make the save. Steel pipe in hand as he comes out. Two men betrayed Don Callis. And now they both stand on the same side from each other. Anyway, he interviews Jericho, interrupts Omega's interview backstage, talking about Sammy is true Judas as he recommends in his song, and Omega should team up to take out the Don Callis family. Kota Ibushi's name is thrown in the mix as well as he appears on the baby faces, as a lot of people kind of want a trios match between at the pay-per-view. I'm not sure who the third will be with Konosuke and Sammy, maybe Don Callis, probably not. We'll see what happens. Third match on the show for the number one contendership for ROH World Tag Team titles. The Hardys versus the Righteous versus the Kingdom versus Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, better known as Best Friends. The Righteous win this one in about 7 minutes. Post-match, the Kingdom beat up the Best Friends. Not the Hardys or not the Hardys. So, I guess that's their next feud is with the Best Friends or something like that. We'll see what happens. Mike Santana comes out, cuts another promo. I believe during this part, Ortiz comes out and stares him down. That's why I said their real life feud is now on TV. They're gonna go one-on-one, I guess. Your fourth match, actually your main event. Not the main event. This is. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm used to the regular Rampage, but just would have wrapped up. This is the 2-hour one, so we got a lot to go through. Anyway, Trios Championship being defending here. The Acclaim taking on Dark Order. The Acclaim retain in about 12 minutes. Next match, Julia Hart taking on your girl, Sky Blue. Julia Hart wins in about 6 minutes. I think they're trying to build up to her getting a title shot soon. She's probably going to lose. But against TBS champion Chris Statlander, because she was watching the match from the box during the last collision, the match between Chris Statlander and Britt Baker in the main event. Post-match, Julia has an assault as Willow comes out for the save. Julia wants no part, and she runs behind Brody King, so I guess we'll see where this ends, if Willow be able to end her streak or whatever. I guess they're going to fight soon or something like that. Next up, you get Santana taking on one half of the Iron Savages in Ron Bronson. Santana wins this match in 2 minutes with a double underhook face buster for the win. Oh, this is where after the match, Ortiz comes down and stares him down in the ramp. So, like I said, they're taking a real life feud into the TV thing. Next up, your main event. Now I'll be jumping ahead at myself. ROH World 6-Man Tag Team Championships, the trios match for ROH. Mogul Embassy taking on Hangman Page and the Bucks. The Hung Bucks win this one in about 14 minutes. They gave us some good time, as it is the main event. Grand Slam Rampage. The match ends when the Bucks go for a series of super kicks. Hangman comes in with a double buckshot lariat on the Gates of Agony. Hangman catches Cage for the Jedi, as it's yet another near fall. As Swerve comes closer to the ring, Hangman misses the lariat as Cage hits him with a lariat of his own. Cage is looking for the drill claw. Hangman reverses the attempt to a roller for the victory. Hung Bucks are your new ROH Triples Champions. Trios Champions, I should say. And that's the end of ROH for the week. Last show was on you.
Yeah, I'm about to speed through SmackDown real quick.
Heard.
I gotta leave in like less than 9 minutes.
Now I'm ordering my Uber now. Go ahead.
Alright, before we get to the main thing, start with the lowest quick stuff first. LWO defeat the Street Profits. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller defeat the Brawling Brutes. Great match between Io Sky and Asuka for the Women's Championship. Sky retains during this match after Charlotte Flair takes out Bayley due to her interference. The main thing here was the Bloodline. Basically, John Cena needs a partner for the Bloodline. Why not find a phenomenal one in AJ Styles? AJ Styles, they agreed to make this match. The end of the night, AJ Styles, they're all in the ring. AJ Styles get taken off by the Bloodline. Now John Cena don't have a partner for Fastlane. Fastlane, and basically that was the end of the show.
And that is basically the end of our show here. We got to get out of here. So, we did the whole show in a 2-shot, so that's different, you know, because the camera wasn't working, but it's all good. Anyway, back at you next week with more news, reviews, and commentary on the pro wrestling world as we see it. I'm one half of your host, Rob.
I'm Clint.
And this has been Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. As I pull up Mr. Simmons to get us out of here. Yeah, I know you gotta roll. Go ahead and play this. We're out.
No,